Well, it's mellow madness, because you will ask yourself the question, what were they thinking about, the angry man, when they did what they did? And then you got to ask the men, what are they thinking about, the angry man, when they allow the behaviors of some of these modern women?
Y'all, I'm tired. I no longer want to be an independent woman. Forget that I-N-D-E. I'm good. I want to be a housewife. Listen, the next man that has good credit, a stable home, finances is straight, baby, I'm marrying you. Yes, sir, I am. I'm not an alpha female no more. I've learned my lesson. Baby, I will be submissive to you. Baby, I will cook for you. I will clean for you. Yes, daddy, whatever you need. You want sex when you want it? Yes, sir, you got it. Baby, you want a meal at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes, sir, you got it. Take care of me. Because this working 2 jobs, although I love being a registered nurse, I love my profession. Let me just work as needed. Let me work when I want to work. I'm over it. I'm tired, y'all. So hook a girl up. I'm looking for a husband. I'm ready to be a housewife.
Got the itch in my palm. My girl, she know she the one. I put the ice on her hand. I put some ice on her arm. See me shining in the light. Know you found me in the dark. Talking how you wanna leave. Girl, you made this far. Taking trips overseas. No, I won't be long. We came up from the weeds. Now it's top floor. All these big yes on her wrist. VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. There for my first cake, then we hit on a cake. $500,000 on the way, then $1 million on the way. Eating good full plates, eating good say grace. Eat her up, get thanks, she got cake birthday. I can't waste no way, I can't waste no play. My girl, whoa, something like the baddest chick. My girl, whoa, came from the rags to rich. Hit the road running, I had to tell her I had to get it. She understood, but she spoiled, so when she get mad, she dip. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on her, let her spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her, cause she all mine. All these big yes on her wrist, VVS is on her neck. Make it spin and I don't stress. Spend it on a challenge, cause she all mine. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend.
I've been there, locked up inside my head, broken from fear, illusions, disappointment, and hopelessness. Who heard me in my silence, where being a man means nothing? Despair, I've been there too. Desperately seeking answers for the questions associated with manhood, hills and valleys, too bleak to compare. Stress, suffering in a utility silo, no comfort, no security, no freedom, no justice, just do it for others. Challenges, who will help me break the challenges? Lost in the vortex of darkness, hopelessness, fear, and abandonment. I've been there too. I've been there too. Take the next step to your destiny. Join me in this fight. Walk forward. Deep breaths. Head held high, men. Come join me, men, in the winds of time. Stories, hopes, visions, purified in the fire. I'm not a superhero. And I'm not the Reverend Knight. I'm here to help you. Join me, men, in this fight. Break the chains of your mind. Let's do it now. For now is all we have. Fire for your mind. The kosher clinician.
All right, guys, we're about to get into it tonight as we're going to have a very powerful and dynamic show on this Wednesday night as we talk about an ideal that more or less centers around the show that I did on Sunday about strong and independent women. The question for tonight is, are strong and independent women at risk of being uncovered and alone? And, you know, we've talked about it, guys, in the past. I've told you guys that a lot of the things that have been indoctrinated into the culture of black people or American people, especially some of these American women, is a byproduct of trauma and rebellion too. And I told you guys that many of these women, you know, they're looking for somebody to come in to give them hope because times are getting tight. And sadly, one could argue, guys, that many still want you men to be this. Yeah, see, some of y'all thought I was playing. Y'all thought I was joking. You know, like the young folks say, stop playing, stop playing. Y'all thought I was joking when I told you about REST. And REST stands for resources, attention, time, and sex, and security for settlement. You know, resources, attention, and time, and sex for security and settlement. And see, red culture is a byproduct of a woman's biological imperative. It's just part of her nature. It's not a bad thing if she uses her culture or uses more or less her nature to empower herself and the men in her community around her. But sadly, some of these women are practicing rat behavior because they want you to serve them without giving them anything in return. And sadly, so many of our women have been conditioned to think that, you know, that the man tree would live forever, that they would have forever, or to invent them to get a man. But see, many are beginning to see that nebulous idea never came into fruition. The idea that they were going to get a man until the eons of time now is beginning to hit some in the face with the reality that they're not going to ever get a man. And it's unfortunate and sad, but at the same time, it serves to more or less give credence and give note that your time on this earth is unlimited. And your opportunity to get a quality man normally is in your younger years when you're more fertile, when you're more pretty, when you're more peak, when your body is more intact, and when you can give that man the things that he needs as a man. But sadly this, many don't understand that phenomena. Many don't understand that philosophy. And sadly, many didn't believe that the fat meat was greasy because they thought that they were going to have forever to get a quality man. And now they're beginning to see men travel abroad and more or less look at women that more or less meet their needs. And they're not dealing with women that don't complement them in a powerful notion. I told you guys before in the past that based on Dr. William Glasser that needs drive behaviors. But watch this. Women have needs too because women by nature, men are survivalists. A good woman will settle down with a good man and they'll build a family and build a legacy. But see, so many women have been taught to be strong and independent to the point many are left uncovered. Now, some might say, well, I got my house and I got a job and I got my career, and that's fine, but you're still uncovered because you were made to be covered by your man. When men and women operate together, it's a powerful institution. We're going to get deep into it on tonight, guys. We're going to definitely get deep into it. But in the meantime, I want to thank all the brothers that donated last week, that shared the content. We are over 4,000. We are growing. And I want to thank all the brothers and sisters that played a role in my meritorious rise and the work that I've done to keep these young men conscious and give these men a level of hope. But we're going to get deep into it. We're going to get deep into it. And we're going to break this thing down because the question, once again, guys, is this. Are black women at risk of being destitute and uncovered because they're not under the masculine authority of a righteous and a good man? Are they at risk? And I would say, yes, they are at risk. It's hard being trying to provide and protect because men were built for the rigors of hard work and labor. Hips were made for carrying babies, but shoulders were made for carrying heavy objects. And a lot of these women are beginning to see that to the point it's taking a mental toll on many of them. Many of them believe the trope of being strong and independent. And a woman was never made to be strong and independent. She was made to be soft and self-sufficient until she got the man of her dreams. And men are beginning to see now that whole trope of being strong and independent actually has been a detriment to them because the strong and independent trope is actually based off of a deficit mindset. It's women going to relationships with a deficit mindset based on trauma instead of going to a relationship based on power and using their femininity to help them get a man. Many of them ruminate off of the struggles of what their mothers went through. And if you go into a relationship broken and emotionally unavailable, you can't be the best version for yourself or that man that's waiting and ready. So we're going to jump right into it, guys. We're going to jump right into it in a few minutes. I got some fire for your mind on tonight. Because, see, the wall is inevitable.
For your
the
mind.
wall is inevitable. The wall is something that besets many women if they are not careful. Many thought they had forever, but the wall is a real phenomenon. And it does not mean that a woman can get a man later in years. It does not mean that. But what it does mean is that a woman is at her best in her younger years where her body is tighter, where she's more where she's more at risk of having kids or not the risk of having what's called a geriatric pregnancy. She's at her best when she's younger. Her body is tight, and she doesn't have the cares of being in bad relationship that's taking an emotional toll on her mentally. But see, when you wait forever or wait to infantile to get a man, then it becomes problematic. Your best time to get a man is in your younger years, between 22 to 25. But so many put off family for the sake of career. And while I'm not against a woman getting a career, if that's all you want, then focus on your career. But understand that if you want to have a family and you keep putting your career above your family, it's going to be an issue. And we're going to talk about that at some point. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to redo some of these comments. Top Gun says, She-Hulk, Black Panther-ish. They don't need us. Yeah, man, I don't think they need us. XL. KP from KC5. I don't think they need us, man. But you know what? Men are going to suffer the recompense of their error. And guess what? At the end of the day, that's not your problem, and neither is it mine. But let's look at what Abraham Maslow talked about, guys, because Abraham Maslow talked about something called the hierarchy of needs. I'm going to give you guys a clinical foundation first, and then we're going to get into the heart of the matter as I break this subject down. So Abraham Maslow talked about, guys, he talked about the hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow said first that, hold tight, let me go back. He said that there are 5 levels in Maslow pyramid. From the bottom of the hierarchy upwards, there's a physiological need, food and clothing. Times are getting tight, guys. Times are getting extremely tight. Inflation is at an all-time high. We could be going into a recession. And now, sadly, it takes 2 really to be sustainable. It takes 2 incomes if that person's not living above their means to become sustainable. So food and clothing is now becoming a critical nexus point for many people. Many people can't even keep their head above the water because the cost of inflation is going higher than how much money they're making. That $15 an hour really is just like $7 an hour. That $100,000 that you had if you're living in DC is probably like $50,000 because inflation is rising, but the cost of living is not, men and women not given a cost of living raise. So inflation is rising, but salaries are plateauing out. And because of that, it's causing a lot of people to have psychological issues and also a lot of mental health trauma. The next one is called safety or job security. I keep telling you guys that this stuff is real. And I told you guys before in the past that because she wants you to be a rat, many modern women, they want you to be resources, attention, time, security, and settlement for sex, then that's problematic because, see, you got to ask yourself the question, what am I getting in return as a man? Is being a rat enough? Because she wants you to be her rat. Yeah, she wants you to be a rat. And being a rat, what it does, it reduces you guys to the common denominator as a man. It reduces you to the common denominator. And psychologically, what would argue, is that healthy for you? I would say no. It's not healthy for you to be reduced to the lowest common denominator as a man. So in fair exchange, there is no robbery in fair exchange. But if you're giving her resources, attention, time, and you're giving her sex where sex is mutually beneficial, and she's going to get security and settlement, then what is she going to give you in return besides sex? Because see, women of the past were wife-ready, wife-worthy, and they were very chaste. But what are men getting in return? How could that woman help assuage the psychology or the ego of that said man? How can she help him with that? And many will say that many can't or don't or won't do that as it relates to empowering that man. So once again, guys, physiological needs, food and clothing. That's what she wants. She wants food and clothing. Homeless rates are on an all-time high. A lot of women and their children are single and they're living outside of their cars. They're living outside of it. Some mocked Kevin Samuels when he was living and said that when he passed and said he died alone and that no winter came. But others will argue that winter is here or the winter breeze is here. Shout out to Attorney Dennis Sperling. And because of that, that some will begin to be not only sabotaged, but some will be in very dire needs and dire straits. But the question is, are men coming back to the table? Are men coming back to a faltering community where they're not getting their needs met and they're not seeing anything that's beneficial long-term for that man? So once again, based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, physiological needs, food and clothing, safety and job security. Safety could be job security. Women are looking for men with job security. I'm going to show you this young woman in a minute, and she's saying that she's tired of working. She said she's looking for a man. She wants a man now. She said she's tired of working. You know, what I told you guys, they're just not built for it. We're built for rigor. We're built for hard work. We're built for the struggle. Men are built for it. I'm not saying we like it, but we can deal with it better because we're just built for it. We're built for mental toughness. We're built in general to do hard things because that's part of manhood. Manhood is a series of hills and valleys, victories and failures. Men are problem solvers. Our first default mechanism is not our feelings, but our default mechanism is to find solutions, especially those men that were raised in masculine homes, because you have to harness the masculinity out of a boy. Sadly, many of these boys have not had the masculinity harnessed out of them. Now, this is going back consistent with what I said about Dr. William Glasser. The next thing is love and belonging. Love and belonging needs. Women are insular creatures. They have a need to be loved and they have a need to belong because women are social creatures. Now, men are social creatures too. But women do things, guys, based on what's called groupthink. They're more group. They're more in unison. When I was in law enforcement, men did things based on hierarchy. When we did criminology, we did things, men tend to do things based on hierarchy. You got the OGs, the old OGs at the top. Then you got the generals. Then you got the lieutenants. Then you got the sergeants. Then you got the privates. Then you got the foot soldiers. That's how a hierarchy worked in prison. But women tend to do things based on group and based on nurturing. When you look at prison dynamics, women prisons are totally different than men prisons. And that's why it's so important for women to understand and capitalize on getting a solid man in their younger years. But see, sadly, many are waiting too long. Many have waited too long, and many now are suffering the recompense of their error. Are strong and independent women in danger of being alone? And I would say yes. Because see, when the barbarians come at the door, then how would they be able to stand once the barbarians come at the door? Now, guys, do me a favor, get the likes up, share the content if you don't mind, because I'm going to drop some fire for your mind on tonight. It's going to be a great show.
Fire
see, the law is
for your
inevitable,
mind.
and so is taxes and inflation. They both are inevitable. The wall and taxes and inflation is inevitable. And the wall is coming at a theater near you. And it's sad. It's sad because so many gave away their virtue in their younger years when they should have been focusing on a family. But sadly, some of these boomer women taught these women that it was okay to focus on your career because they were frustrated with the circumstance or the situation that they had. And they did not maximize the opportunity to get a quality and a solid man. Now they're running like rats because they want you to be their rat, and they're trying to get a quality man because they thought that forever they could pick off the man tree. But what women don't understand is this. Relationship symmetry says this. As a woman gets older, she can still get a man, but the quality greatly diminishes. As a man gets older, so it's like men and women start off here. She's born with everything she needs: body, hips, thighs, perky breasts, and all. As a man gets older, he started making money, taking care of his health. Her sexual market value is going down, but his is actually rising. His social market value, and also his sexual market value. That's why older men, as they get older, they look very handsome, very attractive if they take care of themselves because they got that salt and pepper swag. But on top of that, their money started getting bigger and better. That's why older men sometimes start dealing with younger women because it complements their symmetry as a man. It complements their symmetry as a man. And some guys, they just don't understand that. So once again, guys, get the likes up, share the content. If you're not donated to the channel, donate to the channel. I appreciate everything you brothers have done. And once again, guys, we're going to have a very powerful show on tonight. It's going to be a good show. So let's get back to what I was saying about Maslow's hierarchy of needs because it's going to make sense. So once again, love and belonging. These are the needs that women have. They have a need for friendship. They have a need for friendship. They have a need for esteem. And then the last thing is called self-actualization. That basically means that you can be your best self. Now, some will argue from a theological position, and some will argue from a secular position. The theological position says you can never be self-actualized unless you have an abiding faith in God. That's when you meet total self-actualization. It basically means that you are not at your best until you're under God's umbrella. But from the secular perspective, it basically means that you become your best by doing everything in your power to make you become your best. And so basically what it says, it's a desire to be the best that one can be right here. It's a desire to become the best that one can be. But the theologian would say that you are broken. Therefore, you cannot be the best that you can be if you don't have the moral compass, which is God. But we're not here to talk about theology on the night. We're here to talk about how strong and independent black women are at risk of being a cover and alone. And you know, Kevin Samuels, he talked about it many times, guys. He's talked about it. We've talked about it as men. And I think it's gotten to the point now where men just say, you know what, it is what it is. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of talking about it. We're going to focus on ourselves. We're going to do what's best for us. You know, we ain't going to worry about the shenanigans. And it is what it is. And you know, we talk about it all the time, guys. We talk about the hyenas. You know, the hyenas always come. Every time men decide to do what's best for them, you know, you're gonna always have a hyena to try to shame men back into silence. And you know, it's all good. It's unfortunate, but it's all good. So I want to show you guys some. I was talking to my homie on today. Me and Peaceful Life, we were chopping it up. And you know, I had a hyena, man, running her mouth, man. You know, she said that I'm gonna let you guys see it, and it's funny to me. I laugh at it because these women prove what men are actually saying. But this poor woman wants to lead with her degrees instead of leading with her femininity. And I understand that men don't care about degrees. Men don't care about your degrees if your degrees are not going to help him be the better version of himself. So let me show you guys some. Let me show you guys something real quick, and you guys can see it for yourself. Let me stop this. Let me stop the screen real quick, so you guys, you good gentlemen, can see it, and you guys can see the pathology that we're talking about. But in the meantime, shout out to my man, Mr. Lawrence, for that $2 super sticker. He said, "At the kosher clinician, all for the chat room. Shalom, no doubt." Thank you, Mr. Marcus. I appreciate it, Mr. Lawrence. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So I want to show you guys something real quick. And you guys can see for yourself that the more things change, the more they remain the same as it relates to the rebellion, as it relates to the narcissism, as it relates to the hubris, sadly, of many of these modern women. Some of these sisters get it, but some will never get it, because the more you try to tell them about what men want, sadly, many don't understand it. They continue to minimize the needs of men. And then, you know, when they can't get what they want, they try to shame men, sadly, into silence. So let me show you guys something. Okay, why is he having trouble sharing my video for? Hold on for a minute. I keep saying he's having trouble sharing my video. So let me see if I can find it. All right, let me show you guys something. Actually, if I can go on the page. So anyway, I'll read it to you. I'll read it to you guys. I wish you guys could see it. I printed this off so you guys can see it. Or maybe I could just, hold on. Maybe I can make it as a, let me make it, guys, as a picture then. Let me make it as a picture. Hold tight. But once again, guys, the more things change, sadly, the more they remain the same. And men are beginning to change the law in their mind. Shout out to Mr. Palmer. Men are beginning to do what's best for them, because men are frustrated, and men are beginning to say, you know what, if I can't get what I want, then I'm not going to continue to argue with a woman. I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm just going to laugh at her, and I'm going to let her oh man. I'm just gonna let her suffer in silence, and I'm not gonna make it do what it do. I'm not gonna forever try to please or appease delusional women. You guys are about to see it, so let me print this thing out so you brothers can see it, so you good gents can see it, and you guys gonna see for yourself how the pathology still remains, how arrogance and hubris still remains. And the more things change, the more they remain the same, as some still sadly got rat behavior. And I hate to laugh, guys. I hate to laugh. But, you know, when they go out trying to insult men, you know, trying to minimize men, and, you know, the level of disrespect, guys, once you guys see it, you're going to be shocked. The level of disrespect is appalling. So let me show you guys something from this hyena. Let me show you guys something real quick. Let me delete this real quick. Delete this overlay. And I'm gonna show you guys something real quick from this this raging hyena. And you guys will see for yourself. So shout out to my girl Pat. Shout out to her, man. You know, I don't know who this woman named Pat is. Bless her heart. But guys, look at what she said. She said, look at the level of vitriol, guys. You guys see it for yourself. Look at the level of vitriol. This woman said that this is disgusting. And, you know, it's funny and sad at the same time, because they're so predictable. It's funny to me. But she said, this is disgusting. How can those no English-speaking, slum-living Spanish women compare to us black women who are strong and independent? Oh my goodness, man. The hyenas rise again. And you guys are seeing what I'm talking about. Y'all think I be playing when I be trying to show you guys this stuff, man. You know, it's a thinking error. It's called catastrophizing. And also it's a mental illness. It's called the minimization of masculinity. But anyway, this woman said, and shout out to Pat once again. Pat, I love you. You know, you it's obvious you got some issues because men don't give a damn about your degrees. We don't care about your degrees. Your degrees mean nothing to us. But she says, disgusting. How can those no English-speaking, slum-living Spanish women compare to us black women who are strong and independent? Now, Dre talked about it from Dre with Love Crossing Borders, and that's an insult to him and his wife, and also to many Latin women, because there are many Latin women that are educated, but they don't put education over their family. They put family over education. But see, American women or women in the West lead with degrees. Those women lead with femininity, cooperation, submission, and honor and respect for community and family. That's the big difference between foreign women from third world countries, because see, I'd rather have a third world woman with femininity than to have a first world woman with a bad attitude. She said, I have 3 degrees, my friend. It's sad, man. She said, it's no comparison. I will make it my mission to teach every Afro-Latin women to avoid y'all like the plague. You guys see it, man. You guys see it. Come on, man. I keep telling you, man, the thinking errors are unreal, man. The thinking errors, brothers, are unreal. And, you know, part of that, guys, is tied to a condition called, it's definitely a condition called ego dystonia, because, see, they think that what they're thinking is real. They're delusional. And they think that the delusion that they're having, guys, is real. And see, in the clinical world, guys, women like that, because they think what they're saying is real, they have this. Yeah, that's delusional. They really think that what they're feeling is real. It's delusional by default. It's extremely delusional. I would say delusion by proxy. See, because when you show them the evidence and you try to tell them what men want, they just don't believe it. You know, and in the South, you know, we said they don't believe that the fat meat is greasy. Shout out to my man, A Peaceful Life, for that $10 super.
That's a bet, right? That's a
deal,
right?
A Peaceful Life, thank you, brother.
Right?
And A Peaceful Life, brother,
bet,
because
right?
of your
That's a
meritorious
deal,
love
right?
offering.
Right?
You are the new sponsor of the stream. Yeah, and shout out to my man Top Gun. He said that old beady head pickle-eyed fool. Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad, man. You know, and she got the spirit of the granny servant, but also, guys, she got the spirit of Onesta.
You old fish-eyed fool. You miserable old snagger-tooth jackass. You ignorant old bum. You beady-head old pickle-eyed fool. You are unholy sinner and a heathenish foul Philistine. You bean-eating bear hugger. You a heathen, Fred Sanford. Old senile heathen. I'll unscrew your arm from your shoulder and beat your brains out. You just keep sucking on that sucker. And when I pull your chain, you bark. Woodrow, put that bottle down before I unscrew your wrist. I'd bust your eyeball. Twist his head until it unscrews. I I'll get some sticks and stones and break your bones. And the name that'll hurt you will be Esther.
And you guys see it for yourself, man. It's really sad, guys. It's really sad because they don't get it. Yeah, they don't get it. A lot of thinking errors, a lot of mental illness going on, guys. A lot of mental illness. The delusion is unreal. You know, she need to come see me at coachtheclinician@gmail.com for a non-diagnostic consultation because I can get that schema affliction right. But the indoctrination, guys, is so embedded in the subconscious of a lot of these modern Western women that when men try to bring clarity and balance to why we're doing the things that they're doing, what they're doing is this: they actually assuage or more or less give us more ammunition to do what we want to do. Because once again, men want to feel loved, honored, and respected. But see, when this woman turned around and she disrespected several brothers, it just proves or more or less affirms our point as a man. It affirms that men are going to go where they're celebrated. It affirms that men are going to go where they're not going to be tolerated. And it also affirms that men are going to get the best that they can get, and they're going to get the best outcomes that they can get. Let me show you guys what my response to her. Because it's sad that, you know, she just don't get it. Bless her heart. Like the old folks used to say, bless her heart. That's what the old folks used to say. It's so funny because these women actually prove our points, and they prove why men are beginning to go abroad. So here's my response. I said this. This is what I said, guys. Hold tight. Let me remove. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I think I was off. I apologize, guys. I apologize. But anyway, this is what she said. She said, I told her that's the problem, as you sound ignorant, ma'am. I said, so perhaps you should explore Latin culture. I said, you lead with degrees and they lead with femininity. I apologize, guys, if y'all didn't hear me. I said, men don't care about your degrees. We care about feminine virtue. I said, you are actually insulting Afro-Latin sisters abroad. My friend's wife is a professional, educated Latin woman and superior to you. She is superior because she understands the importance of order. And many of you in your ilk, I told her hubris and lack of introspection will be the demise of many. I told her I have 3 degrees and what's your point? Degrees don't make a woman, feminine demure does. What do you guys say about this woman that lambasted black men and men in general for traveling abroad? Because what she doesn't understand is this, it's not gonna make black men get shamed. It's gonna make black men step their game up and say, I'm gonna do whatever. Shout out to my dear friend, Shalakimia. How you doing, sweetie? It's been a minute. I'm actually gonna be in your stomping ground soon.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right?
ATL.
That's a deal, right?
I will be in the ATL,
That's a
guys.
bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
The brothers with Lapeef. Hopefully, if not, don't happen. So I look forward to seeing some of you good people. If you guys are in Atlanta, we can chop it up. Have a couple of club sodas. and chop it up. So I apologize, guys. But guys, look at this, man. Look at this, because it's really sad, man. It's really sad. You're right, Cortez. It's definitely solipsistic. Can the people say it? But she won't say that into a foreign woman's face without her again being slapped. It's sad, man. It's sad. KP from KC5 says sociology, elementary education, they're counting as associate degrees. And look, there's nothing wrong with those degrees. I mean, if you can use them to make money, ain't nothing wrong with it. But men don't care about degrees. Men care about feminine demure, and men care about feminine virtue. That's what men care about. But sadly, many are leading with their degrees, and it's leading to their demise. The Ingram Experience, Peaceful Life says shame has failed. Black men are doing what's best for them, no doubt. And it's very good when you can love yourself and do what's best for you. And shout out to Cortez Smith. He said, Coach, who hurt her? Yeah, I don't know who hurt her. I don't know who hurt that poor soul, man, but she it's funny to me. Back in the past, it used to bother me when women would say that kind of stuff, but it's so funny now. I just laugh at it. It's funny because they don't know any better. They think by berating a man and disparaging a man, it's going to help them get their needs met, but it's not. Masculinity actually deals with feminine women. Men like feminine cooperative women. Men like women that can compliment them. Men like women that can help them become the better version of themselves. And this is another thing this poor woman said. Let me show you guys real quick. Y'all guys gonna laugh at this too. Hold tight. Let me show you guys this. She said that black women are strong and independent, and that intimidates scared little boys like you. Let me show you guys something. This hyena needs some therapy, man. But let me show you guys something. Poor child, like the old folks said, bless her heart.
Let's go back it just a little bit.
Oh my goodness, bless her heart. Poor child. Let me show y'all something what Pat said. Bless her. I love Pat. Pat is funny to me. But Pat said black women are strong and independent, and that intimidates scared little boys like you. It proves our point once again, guys. Shame the language. She said, we own the world while you own the prison cells. Two thinking errors. Overgeneralization. She overgeneralized the importance or the lack of importance of black men. And she more or less stereotypes and castigate black men into like a caste system. So this is mental pathology that's going on. This woman says she has 3 degrees, but it's clear that she has some mental illness because an educated woman understands that black men are not in prison. It's a percentage of us in prison, but we're not. Many black men are hardworking, salvageable men. They have a good heart and doing the right thing. But what this woman is doing, she's proven our point. She's proven why men are going to travel abroad. And her level of arrogance, guys, is sad. Black women are strong and independent, and that intimidates scared little boys. That's the emasculation like you. We own the world. Now remember, they own the world that men built and created. They own the world that men built and created. Your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather. Our ancestors were men that died, and white men or whoever that built this world. But many times, sadly, it was built off the free labor of black men. But they said, we own the world while you own the prison cell. You see the over-emasculation, the matriarchal hyena culture that we have and we live in. And see, what it does, guys, it's mentally draining to men. But like I tell you guys over and over again, there's a king inside of you. You don't have to worry about this negative pathology of women like her. Once again, women like her want you to be a rat. She wants resources, attention, time, and she also wants security and settlement for sex that she gave to Raekwon the Man for free. Raekwon the Man got it for free. She probably got 5 or 6 kids by different men. But she gave it to them for free, but she wants you to pay full price for it. Because she don't see you as having no damn value. She just see you as a rat. Resources, attention, time, and security for settlement and sex. She wants you to be her rat while she be the human, and she more or less speak down to you. These modern hyena guys, they don't want equality, they want superiority. And many times they want superiority at the risk of your health. They're very toxic. They're very ignorant. And they don't honor and respect righteous men. But then this is what I told this hyena. I said, your comments remind men why they are finding respectful, beautiful, fit, cooperative women. You are proving our points with your hateful, misandric comments. And she never addresses what she did wrong, but this is what she said. I echoed her, well, it seems I'm not welcome here, so I will leave you be. Now, she disrespected me. She disrespected all the men that support me. But she said, never took accountability. But just know I was only trying to educate you and your subs. Look how condescending she is. She's trying to educate us. The first fruits of God's creation. This hyena is trying to educate us. Where in other cultures, the men educate the women. The men teach the women, and the women teach the children after the men have poured into them. Like I told you guys before in the past, the man is the sun. The woman is the moon that rotates around the sun. The woman is a vessel. She is a reflection of the sun. The sun pours into the moon. The moon turns around and reflects the image of the sun. It becomes a symbiotic relationship. But this hyena wants to be the sun and the moon. And women like her, guys, because she's a broken vessel, the more you shine your light onto a broken vessel, eventually it will burn you out. And that's why men are beginning to travel abroad. That's why men are beginning to love themselves. That's why men are getting women that got common sense, women that have been trained to be wise, not miserable hyenas like yourself that lead them with degrees. You need therapy, ma'am. And I can get you right if you will humble yourself, but your hubris is so appalling. I mean, the hubris is appalling. And so me being funny, I just laughed at her. I said, be well, Pat. I said, perhaps in the future, you'll listen to what men are saying. You come off as arrogant and condescending. Most of the men in my circles are educated, including myself. I say academic education is not, academic education is a pedagogy, not an experience. The experience of black men supersedes pedagogy. And I stand on that. And, and shout out to Peaceful Life and Tony Jackson, all them degrees and no common sense. Yes, all them degrees, guys, and no common sense. And I'm surprised she didn't say your mama black, but it's funny, man. It's gotten to the point, guys. It's so funny now. I don't even take them personal no more. I don't get mad at them because I understand they got some unresolved mental illness, and it's okay. It's sad. But I don't even take them serious anymore, man. Maybe one day she'll get it, but I doubt it that she will ever get it because the hubris is too strong. Liberal indoctrination have taught them that they are better than men. Liberal indoctrination have taught them that they don't need men. Liberal indoctrination have taught them that they are strong and independent and that they don't need a man. And it's okay, but why, she running men down and running black men down and trying to denigrate black men. Black men are going to travel abroad, the ones that can do it, and they're going to get them fit, cooperative, beautiful women that's going to honor them, respect them, follow their program, and those women are going to be well taken care of. The women that run their mouths and they want to be hyenas, they're going to be left alone because masculine men are not going to put up with that BS. And this is what this hyena said again, guys. So another comment was, because Pep is proving my point, can a man be husband ready to the modern woman? I asked the question because, see, I don't aggrandize men just because they're men. There are some men that are broken too. They're not ready to lead yet. They need to be trained properly, and they need to remove those thinking errors. Now, this is what Pat said. Pat 7-8 said, no, he can't because the chances are he's underemployed, which is an overgeneralization, and dependent upon his baby mamas. You see the disrespect, guys? I'm not bragging, but I'm college educated. She is bragging. She's ignorant, very ignorant. Have 3 degrees and gainfully employed. This usually intimidates men. This is what this hyena said. And what this woman don't understand is that men don't care about degrees. Now, if a woman constantly flossing her degrees in a man's face like this woman, then that can make a man feel a little unsafe, like he can't be a provider. Because see, like T.D. Jakes said, how can he pour into something if you're always there talking about your degrees and your education? I'm gonna do another show soon. I'm gonna do another show soon. But men can't feel like men if they're with women that don't honor and respect them as men. And men gotta have something they can pour into. But how can somebody pour into a woman that has it all? There are women from other countries that have degrees and education, but they understand that no matter how much money they make, it does not supersede where their place is as respecting that man. Now, women by nature are hypergamous. Even the good women are hypergamous. But kosher hypergamy, which is fit and proper, is totally different than carnal hypergamy, which is exploitative. Women in the West, white, black, or indifferent, tend to be exploitative in their hypergamy. I say in general. We know that there's some that are not, but in general. But kosher hypergamy basically says I need a man to provide for me, protect me. Even though I make $50,000, I want a man to have a vision that's better. And because I make more money than you, that does not supersede my role as a woman. That's a traditional relationship. But you see how this woman denigrate men. She said she's not bragging, but she is bragging. And I said, sadly, I say what you're saying is untrue as you're perpetuating stereotypes. As an educated woman, perhaps you should look at the show and determine the gravitas of the conversation. I said that Afro-Latin women / Latin women are raised better. Many of our women are lost. Thank God for the few good sisters that get it. There are some sisters that get it, but sadly, many are lost. And guys, you ain't got time to keep fighting and arguing with hyenas. You got to move on with your lives. You got to be like Mahalia Jackson. Mahalia Jackson said, move on up a little higher. That's what you got to do because, see, tomorrow is not promised to no man. I told you guys I lost my cousin recently. He's gone. He's waiting, sadly, for the judgment at some point and also waiting to stand before his creator. And when you deal with wicked, broken women like this woman, you will become a saboteur to your own mind if you continue to listen to broken women like her. Your greatest adjustment and your greatest desire and decree should do what's best for you, not what's best for a broken modern day hyena. They don't get it. They don't get it. They ain't gonna get it. And they're damaged. Some people talk about saving the community. There is no community. It's broken. It's dead. It's going to take generations to get it back. So because men are the progenitors of life, men do have the God spark. Men are the first fruit of God's creation because women was created for man. It's incumbent upon that man to do what's best for him as it relates to building a community that's based on what men deem to be important, not based on what she deemed to be important based on her feelings, and execute masculine judgment, execute masculine order, execute what's important for him as a man so that he can build his own mantle as it relates to his well-being, as it relates to his psychology, as it relates to his functioning, and also as it relates to his salubrity, which is his health. When men can more or less self-actualize all of those things, then men can be the best versions of themselves. Not for her fickle nature, not for her fickle ego, but for the fortification of a man and what's best for him. What's best for him? It's not what's best for her. It's what's best for him and then the family and the children and the community. But it takes a righteous masculine man that knows his worth, not broken matriarchal-led men that have the spirit of a self-servant. And, we got them. You guys have seen it because a lot of these men, when we start trying to move on and do what's best for us, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Many of those men, guys, are actually this.
Why are you destroying our planet?
I have no choice.
Yeah. Yeah, you got men that have been raised by their moms. They think it's, they ain't got no other choice but to destroy what men are trying to do. They have no other choice but to shame you into silence. They have no other choice but to make your desires and wills become irrelevant. Because they are self-surfers. They are self-surfers. They traverse across the internet causing chaos. They absorb masculine spaces and they're trying to turn those masculine spaces to places of chaos and confusion. They get on the internet and they self-surf. And every time masculine men start talking, they try to shame them back into the plantation. Every time black masculine men say we're going abroad getting better women, they try to shame them. Every time masculine men say I'm going to get me a younger woman that's pretty and so cooperative, they try to shame them. And like I told you guys, you got to let that stuff roll off your back like water roll off a duck's behind. Bruce Lee said it better than me. He said when these hyenas come, and I'm in the spirit of Bruce Lee, guys, because some of you guys don't get it. But when the hyenas come, and they are coming, you got to be like water.
That's ISO?
Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and
Yeah, you got to be like water when it comes down to the modern hyena, because if you're not going to be like water, it will impact them. When they try to shame you into silence, you got to be like water. You got to be fluid. You got to let it roll off your back like water rolls off a duck's behind. But when she try to use other counterpoints, you got to be like water when it's static, when it's at its highest point. Meaning it gotta be a force, water as a force, meaning you can deflect her points because you know what potential that you have. So you guys should laugh at hyenas. You should mock them. It's funny to me because you understand that they are demented. They're not gonna change. It's gonna take something negative to make them fall on their faces. And then sadly, then they won't change as well. And it's okay, don't worry about them, just leave them behind. Because a lot of it is arrogance, but some of it also is hurt. And they project that anger onto you because they like the power to humble themselves and see the error of their ways and turn from their wicked ways and become a better woman. But see, masculine men that got money and status, they ain't got time for that foolishness, man. They're just gonna laugh at them. They're gonna be on the beach with their fine, beautiful woman. And they're gonna be chopping up with her. They're gonna be singing that song, Betcha by Golly Wow, with their beautiful Latin woman, because that woman understands how to take care of a man. And they ain't gonna worry about what the naysayers say. They just gonna laugh at them. They're just gonna laugh at them and say, "Oh yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do me. I'm doing me, boo." And I think it's gonna keep it moving. But in the meantime, let me read through some of these comments, man. You brothers are funny. Once again, shout out to Sister Shallow Leukemia. And guys, do me a favor, get the likes up. 42 watching, 33 likes. Let's get them likes up. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Get them likes up, guys. Because, the economy is bad, guys. The economy is bad. The robot been sending me eviction notice. And guys, the robot can be failed. Yeah, get these likes up, guys. The robot got to eat. The robot said he got to pay high taxes too. And then the robot don't eat, I can't eat. So get them likes up so we can feed the robot, because if you feed the robot, then you're going to turn around and feed me, because once again, needs drive behaviors, and the robot got needs too. But let me read through some of these points, guys. And once again, guys, share the stream. If you like what I'm doing, donate to the Cash App. Hit me up at Cash App, $7Smalls. I'm going away soon. But once again, guys, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Let me read through some of these comments, man, because you guys are seeing it. It's really sad. Peaceful Light says she probably got a degree in gender studies. I agree. And she thinks that degree in gender studies is going to assuage her, man. Shout out to my man, Douglas Somerville. Man, my man, Douglas Somerville, showing some love. Shout out to Douglas Somerville. Douglas Somerville, I appreciate it, man. You are an awesome brother. And Douglas Somerville is here with a Cash App alert.
it's the money.
Yes. Cortez Smith said that Tommy warned us about the Simp Surfer, 2009 T100. That's a robot, no doubt. But it's okay, guys. She's going to be okay. Like the old folks said, bless her heart. You got all the degrees, but you're in debt. Poor child. But it's all good. I feel sorry for her to some degree. But men we're going to carry on. We're going to continue to be the mantles of excellence that was put into us. And we're going to let the hyenas do what hyenas do. And it is what it is. But I want to show you guys something else, because times are getting tight. Times are getting tight. And as I told you guys, many are desperate, and many guys want you to be their rat. And you're going to be a fool if you're going to be a rat to the modern woman, because you're not going to get anything in return. You're just going to get a woman that's had fun with multiple men, and she's going to give you that, and she's going to give you that as a settlement, because that's all she knows. She don't lead with her femininity. She lead with her body, which in essence is a detriment to a man. Men need more than just sex. Sex is come a dime a dozen, what are you going to do after the box is broken? And many of them are broken, but that's what men got to deal with. And I'm here to empower you men. I want you men to get the best. I want you to get the best bang for your buck. Some of you women that are listening, you guys have sons. You should want your sons to get the best. You don't want your son to go to school, go to college and work hard and get with an entitled, selfish woman that does not honor and respect him as a man. How does that benefit him as a man? So I want to show you guys something else because you guys can see what I'm talking about, because rat culture is real. Modern women, guys, they want you to be a rat. And the sad thing about being a rat, guys, because that's a thinking error called minimization. They don't really care about your needs and damn wants. She wants you to serve her. She wants you to serve her solipsistic needs. She don't see you outside of her selfish needs. She wants you to be a rat. And we're going to show you guys something, and I'm going to prove my point in a minute. So I'm going to show you guys this sister. This sister, like, she had a lot of fun. She had a lot of tattoos on her. But let me show you guys this woman. And this woman said, she ready to settle down. She said she tired of paying all them bills. So she gonna get one of you guys to come and come to the rescue with your capes on. So let me show you guys this woman, if I can find her. Because she said she tired of paying them bills. She says it's too expensive, it's getting expensive and it's getting hard. And she need a man. She need a strong man. She need a strong man to come. She need a strong man to come to her rescue and put that cape on. You will ask yourself the question, because guys, what were they thinking? Yeah. I came up with a term, guys, called meta madness, because it is meta madness. You will ask yourself the question, what were they thinking about? What is a woman thinking about that's 40, almost 40 years old, never had kids, and you're getting married late in the game? A woman that put career over family. She put career over community. And see, some of these boomer women taught women that foolishness. I get it. I'm not against a woman making money and having an ability to take care of herself to some degree, but coming into a relationship emotionally unavailable and broken is vicarious trauma, but also, guys, it's rebellion. And so metacognitions actually come from the word, meta comes from the word to think about what you're thinking about. So I asked a paradoxical question, what were they thinking about? What were they thinking about to let their lives transpire so long to the point now that they are broken? Now you want the best in a man, but your virtue, which is your feminine essence, your feminine grace, your body, that's what gives you the complementary things that men love. A younger woman, or a woman that has her body on point, or just a woman that's healthy. That's what men want. But she doesn't get it. So she wants some of you guys to come and put your capes on to save her, But what was she thinking about? Meta madness. Hold tight. It's meta madness, because you will ask yourself the question, what were they thinking about, the angry man, when they did what they did? And then you got to ask the men, what are they thinking about, the angry man, when they allow the behaviors of some of these modern women? Right, so what are the men thinking about, once again, because once again, they want you guys to be rats. But what were you thinking about when you settled with a woman that waited till she was damn near 40 to get a husband? What were you thinking about when you allowed yourself to become a rat? What were you thinking about when you put your seed in a woman now that's going to get you for 18 years for child support? Meta madness is not only based on some of the behaviors of some of these modern women, but meta madness, guys, is also based on men not using mental clarity to do what's best for them. What were they thinking about? So listen to this woman, because now she's saying that no more. She said, I'm tired of being an alpha female. I need one of you guys to come, one of you guys to put your capes on and simp for me. And she said she's learned her lesson, even though her clock has expired. I'm sure she's had a lot of fun. But here you go, guys.
Y'all, I'm tired. I no longer want to be an independent woman. Forget that INDE. I'm good. I want to be a housewife. Listen, the next man that has good credit, a stable home, finances is straight.
You guys thought I was playing. Once again, I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm dropping some fire for y'all mind though tonight. You guys thought I was playing when I did that show about race. Y'all thought I was playing.
Culture,
resources, attention, time, settlement and security. She wants settlement and security. She wants a husband, a man can make her secure for sex. Now watch this, but it's not fair exchange because a woman that old has had a lot of fun. She's had a lot of fun. And yeah, that ain't no fair exchange for a man, guys. It's not fair exchange. It's not. What would be fair exchange? Because see, her peak fertility years are just about over. And see, I'm not against a woman that's saying, you know, I made bad choices, you know, but then you got to ask yourself the question, how genuine is she? Is she really genuine? Because if that man loses his job, then would she still hold him down? Does she want that man only for security and protection only? Or is she with that man for duty and also managing her fickle emotions? But listen to her, guys. And she ain't a bad looking woman, but she got a lot of tats.
Baby, I'm marrying you. Yes, sir, I am. I'm not an alpha female no more. I've learned my.
And let me say this, guys. I want to be real clear. There's some good women that make some bad choices in their younger years. It don't mean they're bad women because they got text in them. I want to make sure I clarify that. I know some people that have been redeemed. They got their lives together. They've done dumb things in their 20s, and they're different people now. So I want to make sure I'm clear on that because it doesn't mean that the person's necessarily a bad person, but it can be a bad look if a woman want to get a quality man being tatted up that heavy. This woman, oh my goodness, man. And so some men call that tramp stamps, you know, because it doesn't look good. But once again, every woman that get tattoos doesn't mean she's a bad woman. Let me clarify that. Every man that get tattoos, it doesn't mean that he's a thug. It doesn't. But to men that are conservative, that might be a bad look for those men, for those women. But keep listening.
My lesson, baby, I will be submissive to you. Baby, I will cook for you. I will clean for you. Yes, daddy, whatever you need. You want sex when you want it? Yes, sir, you got it. Baby, you want a meal at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes, sir, you got it. Take care of me. Because this working 2 jobs, although I love being a registered nurse,
How many of you guys gonna bite the bullet, man? How many of you guys gonna take this alpha female, this reformed alpha female, and make her an honest woman? How many of you guys gonna bite the bullet and take this reform? Shout out to our man XL Pro for that $5 super sticker. Thank you, XL Pro. I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you, XL Pro and Douglas Somerville earlier. But how many of you guys gonna take this strong alpha female? She said she learned her lesson. She's looking for a good man now. And she said she's ready to cook. She's ready to settle down. And she said she's tired of being an alpha female. How many of you guys gonna take this woman and make her an honest woman? Because she said she's tired of carrying the load by herself.
I love my profession. Let me just work as needed. Let me work when I want to work. I'm over it. I'm tired, y'all. So hook a girl up. I'm looking for a husband. I'm ready to be a housewife.
So what do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about it? Oh my goodness. Mr. Martin 35 says it's amazing how they can turn it on and off like a switch. Yes, yeah. If you haven't been socialized to be a wife, you can't turn it on and off. It's hard. It's very hard. It takes years to be that way. Cortez Smith said, wow. He said she's not sincere. She's doing it out of desperation. Yes, I agree with that, Mr. Lawrence. He makes it never take your ass to work. Stay independent. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to Peaceful Life. He said they can change their life, but they cannot change the fact that they've been viciously and vigorously pounded. Man, you guys are wild, man. You guys are wild, man. You guys are wild. They say you can't change the fact that they've been viciously and vigorously pounded. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think you can change that man. And, yeah, a man that's serious about a top woman, a quality woman. I think a man wants a woman that can come into his life to meet his needs. A woman that can give him what he needs and wants. And a woman, guys, that's not only equitable to his needs, but a woman that's open to what a man is looking for, and also a woman that's willing to discipline her feelings at a time when she might struggle with her feelings. And sadly, many times they not only struggle with their feelings, but they have a hard time controlling themselves. Actually, shout out to my man Cheesa Z. He actually, I remember him playing a part of this guy. Let me show you guys something. Some of you guys that like women that got donkeys, but shout out to Cheesa Z. I think I saw part of this on his show. I want to show you guys something. And I think it's going to confirm what my man Peaceful Life is talking about. But you can tell this woman's had a lot of fun, and now she wants a husband. And I don't know. I don't know if a man is saying, you know what, I'm willing to take the bait for this. But let me show you guys something. Shout out to that brother. Hold tight.
I'm ready. I'm tired. I'm tired of working 2 jobs, like she said. She's finally ready to submit. She's done being independent. Let's look what she brings to the table. So what I found out just by looking through her TikTok is she had this on her past the wall. Single. Okay. That's a plus, right? That's a category, right? This is a...
And you guys see it. You see it for yourselves. You see the tats. You see the weave. At 39, she's had a lot of fun. She's had a lot of fun. And now she want to trade it in for security and protection.
Positive. This is
you guys see
positive.
It.
No kids is good. Extra points for that. We'll give you like 1.5.
She throwing that thought pocket. She throwing that thought pocket. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons.
High risk professions to marry as a man marrying a woman. And nurses was right up there with teachers and other.
All right, so anyway, that was just a small part of that, but you guys see it for yourself. Who's gonna marry her, guys? Who gonna put that ring on the finger? One of you gentlemen is gonna put a ring on the finger and make her an honest woman. I know one of you guys gonna marry her. Yeah, right. Coach Keith said chest full of tats, legs full of tats too. Yeah, and that doesn't look good if a man is looking for a quality woman. Once again, there are some good women that have learned their lessons, and they've uncovered so that they can recover. But sometimes people make bad choices in their youth, and it's hard to uncover that. It's hard to get around that. But like I said, she's had her fun in her younger years, and now she wants a top tier man to. Now she wants a top tier man, guys. She want one of you gentlemen. A lot of fun, ready to trade in for security and protection. Yes, you're right, Bunny Road Book Tour. You're exactly right. And those nurses, guys, can be dangerous. But now she want a good man now. She's singing that song by Switch. I call your name, yeah. She's singing that song by Switch, guys. She's singing that song, I Call Your Name. That's what she's saying. She said, I call your name. Because she wants you to be a rat. She wants you to give her resources, attention, time, security, and settlement for sex. That's what she wants you guys to give her. That's what she wants to give you guys. But how can you unteach 39 years of indoctrination? What would happen if you lost your job? Could she still be there to hold you down? And I would say no. I would say no. She ain't gonna be there to hold you down. And it's unfortunate, guys. It's unfortunate. You guys are beginning to see it. I keep telling you guys, they want to turn you guys into rats. And you're gonna have a couple of simps that are gonna come in and say, they're gonna say this.
These men are coming together. They must be stopped. Who hurt these petty fools? Their mama is black. Who hurt them? They must be gay. I must go cause confusion.
Yeah. The simp servants guys gonna tell you guys to fall back in line. Your mom is black, and who hurt you? And what they're gonna say when you guys don't fall in line, they're gonna get the Raekwon whip. And when you guys don't fall in the line, they're gonna emasculate you, and they're gonna try to shame you, and then they're gonna tell you guys.
Yeah, put chain on the walls on my mom. They be bringing mom. Kill some of my mom. Bro, they back me like. Gang, that's on my mom. Gang, that's on my mom. Gang, that's on my mom.
Yeah, that's on my mama, man. Raekwon the man gonna try to shame y'all because they want you men to be rats. They want you guys to be rats. Yeah, they want you to get in that Ferris wheel and just keep spinning and spinning. You're not going to go anywhere. But once again, guys, they want you guys to be a rat. Yeah, she wants you guys to be a rat. She wants you to be a rat. But if this woman can be reformed, some of you good gentlemen ready to make this woman an honest woman, and if this woman can be reformed, I need you guys to hit 1. If you guys think the wall is undefeated, I need you guys to hit 2. If she can be a wife-ready woman, hit 1. If the wall is undefeated, I need you guys to hit 2. I need you guys to hit 2 because she said that she ready to settle down now. She said she tired. She said she tired of being out here being strong and independent. She want a man to come in her life and make her life easier. You know, she want to sing that song by Switch. And you know, guys, I did a show years ago, about a couple of years ago, when I first started my YouTube journey. And I want to show you guys something. This is one of my classics, man. This is back in the, almost over 2 years ago when I was starting my YouTube journey. And the title of the show was, What Happens to a Queen Without a Crown? What happens, guys, to a queen without a crown? What happens to her? Because a queen cannot be a queen without a king. She cannot be a queen. So I want to show you guys something. I want you guys to listen to this. Then we're going to get deeper into the conversation. But I want you guys to check this show out. This is an instant classic. This is when I really was coming into my own. I want you guys to listen to this and tell me what you think, because it goes back to women being strong and independent, which is an issue. I want you guys to listen to this, and then I got something for you guys. So hold tight.
This show is a culmination, a collaboration to a show that I did in the past. And the essence of that show was entitled, Has the Modern Woman Been Empowered to Be Depowered? The purpose of that show was to more or less show a correlation that...
Shout out to my man D May. He said all the brothers getting in the deal is hella weave, sandals, prison tattoos, and my O'Shea Duke Jackson. Shout out to him. Thanks, D May.
Most modern women have more or less been victims of self-sabotage. And the essence of that self-sabotage is due to a condition called unaccountability. As you know, a lot of women have been unaccountable. You see the virtues of unaccountability in the media. You see it a lot of times in families and marriages and relationships. And because of that unaccountability, there have been a percentage of our women that have had more or less an inflated ego or view of themselves. And because of that overinflation, they have more or less, how can I say it, given a false sense of hope by a condition that we use in this line of work called simps. And as you know, simps are normally an acronym that I created, and most simps are unconscious of what they're doing because they more or less supplement irrational male principles. The unconscious simp supplements irrational male principles. And because of that supplementation to the female ego, you have an inflated view, you have women that have an inflated view of themselves. But before I start this expose, I want to send my love and my condolences to those women that are rare in this modern world you call America. And there's a percentage of women and some of our sisters that more or less see the condition themselves. And they have been more or less incensed or more or less disturbed by the behaviors that we see in some of these modern women. And some of our sisters have been so disturbed to the point, and also some of our women
that they have been more or less vocal about the incessant and negative behavior of some modern women. You know, you can't really go any place now, whether it be Facebook or whether it be Instagram, where you see more or less pictures of women, mostly. And there are some men that do it, but mostly women. They often are taking pictures with filters. They look like they're in a state of trance. Because in a truest sense of the matter, a woman can't be a queen unless she has a king. Now, she can become a queen by succession, but in essence, a woman is a queen because she has been anointed or more or less under the authority of a king, unless she becomes a queen through royal succession or is given the title through a monarchy, or more or less her husband has passed away. But in the generous case of the sense, a woman is a queen because she has been anointed by a king. And a queen is a woman that's been covered. But you got a lot of women in modern America now that call themselves queens, but they have not been covered by a king. And because of that uncovering, they have a psychopathology called delusion. Because a delusion in the clinical sense is more or less when there's evidence to the contrary, and the person that more or less thinks the evidence is there continue to deny that evidence. That's a delusion. And see, these delusions are being fed.
And you know what? I was right. I was talking about back then when I was starting my journey. I did this video as a classic about over a year ago. But once again, guys, women like that have this. Yeah, they're delusional, but back to task.
Once again, by unconscious simps. And I said it earlier that a simp is someone that more or less supplements irrational male principles. And so I'm going to expound on that unconscious simp at some point. If anybody more or less uses terminologies, please give me credit for it, because this is the acronym that I created myself. Now, I didn't create the word simp, but I did create the acronym in my own words. So if you use it, please cite me for credit. Now listen, you know, I've said in the past that Eve was a woman that more or less lost her place, trying to find her place, never to find her place again. And I did this as a culmination to a series because I've seen the excessive narcissism of a lot of modern women. And I said in that expose, empowered to be depowered, that when Eve lost herself, trying to find herself, never to find herself again, and because of that, she became empowered to be depowered because she was more or less jousting for power. And that's the problem or the predicament of a lot of modern women. They want not only the power in the relationship, but they want to deem themselves superior to their men. And what continues to inflate this, what I call lack of an equilibrium, once again, is the simp. Now listen, you don't have to believe in the tenets of theology. That's irrelevant. You might not believe in the tenets of the Bible or the tenets of theology. But to those that do believe in it, Eve was a vibrant woman when she was under the guidance of her husband. But what's happened to a lot of men now, men have not learned how to lead, or they have not been more or less been given examples how to lead, because they've been raised in single parent homes, which in essence more or less does not espouse masculine principles. Now I know, get it, I know and I get it. There are some men that were raised by single moms, the few that were, and those women more or less deferred to the uncles, or more or less deferred to other people in their families. But for every rule, there's an exception to that rule. And because of that, and because of the lack of masculine authority in families, a lot of boys more or less don't more or less espouse principles that can be sustainable not only to themselves, but also sustainable to their self-development and also to their self-esteem. Listen to this. As a clinical therapist, in a relationship, everything should be copacetic, or everything should be at an equilibrium. But in behavior modification, the person that more or less defers to the next person has more power. And because of that more or less sense of more power, then the other person that concedes to power more or less defers or more or less denies themselves. But to continue the elaboration or the examination on what is a queen without a crown, let's explore who this man was by the name of Narcissus. Narcissus was a man that more or less formulated the current word that we have in the DSM-5 there called narcissistic personality disorder. And while narcissistic personality disorder is mostly seen in men, and it's more or less a byproduct of people that lack empathy, you see a lot of women now that have, if they're not bona fide narcissistic, they have narcissistic personality traits. And those narcissistic personality traits is often the self-aggrandizement of themselves. It is the pontification that they are great. And just like Narcissus was a man that looked at himself in the river or the pond or the spring. He became mesmerized by what he saw to the point that he became immobile. And that's what's happening to a lot of women today. They're continuing to self-sabotage themselves in relationships because they feel that they are better than the men that they are dealing with. And what's happened, you have an inflated market where women are more or less gravitating to the top 5 or 10% men, leaving a good pool of great men unaccounted. And because of this disequilibrium, you have a bunch of men that have become frustrated. And they're more or less become more or less distressed at the pain and the agony of being seen as less than. Because these are the same men that maybe 40, 50, or 60 years ago were good and average men that got women. So what happens to a queen without a crown? What happens to a queen without a crown? Because this so-called queen is causing havoc in our communities. This so-called queen has been left unaccountable in the modern church. This so-called queen puts her own self above the needs of others, which in essence is a lack of empathy. Because empathy seeks to understand the pain and the hurt of someone else. Then, as we continue to explore what happens to a queen without a crown, a woman is at her best when she is covered. The beer virus showed that because a lot of women were vulnerable. And that false sense of entitlement or that false sense of superiority came down to a crashing halt because they had to understand that they were not as great as they thought they were. You see, when men and women are in unison together, one can send 1,000 to flight, but two can send 10,000 into flight. And there's beauty in unity because when a man and a woman come together, if you believe in the traditional family, then you more or less have the power of interdependence. Men and women were more or less optimized to be synchronized. They were more or less men and women more or less are optimized to be synchronized. And when they work together in that synchronicity, they can do a lot more. But the beer virus did something that we saw or we never thought we would see. And a lot of these so-called queens lost their status, they lost their position, they became paralyzed, and they had to come to the grips that they were not as great as they thought they were. And see, while we tend to build these so-called queens,
And why we tend to give them more or less the adulation that they don't deserve. A lot of men, more or less, are to blame. Because leadership starts with men. Leadership starts with the man, because women are going to always look up to you. They're going to always blame you for behaviors, even though you didn't do anything to be blamed for that behavior, just like Adam. Adam was blamed for the behavior of Eve. And just like Eve became a victim of what I call delusions by magical thinking. Because once again, as I said earlier, a delusion is the belief that something is there, even though the evidence says to the contrary. I've coined a term called delusion by the way of magical thinking. Because magical thinking more or less preposes that a condition or a byproduct came about because that person is special. And see, that delusion by magical thinking has led to a condition called entitlement, where a lot of women feel that they are entitled to your money. They feel that they are entitled to your time. They feel like they are entitled to your body and your resources. And sadly, there are a lot of young men and older men that capitulate to the whims of these entitled women because they do not have principles that are self-sustaining. And listen, I submit every man is guilty to some degree of sin, even me myself. But for the most part, I've always been a strong and a masculine man. And I speak this with conviction because I've seen a lot of brokenness in not only men, but my passion is for a lot of young men of all ethnic groups, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. But because the black man in America has been the muse of society, I speak this as a special proclamation to you. So I say it again, what is a queen without a crown? Because a queen without a crown is left to the devices of her own demise and her own self. A queen without a crown is left to the vices of a divided community. A queen without a crown is left without the covering of her husband. And as I said it earlier, the man thinks of theology has said it clearly as it relates to the book of Corinthians, if you believe in the Bible. God is above man. Christ is above man as well. Man is above woman. And because of that order, kids have stability and they have balance, and therefore they have hope. But see, when you take away the natural order of things, God above Christ, Christ above man, man above woman, you don't have order, you have what's called chaos. And when you look at the matriarch that's been created mostly in the black community, you have a lot of chaos. And a lot of this chaos has started more or less back around the 1965 Lyndon B. Johnson administration. And it's more or less proliferated to the cesspool that you have now. And also because of a woman that more or less tried to pontificate being a queen without a crown, there's another condition called solipsism. Solipsism is that self is all that's known to exist. Most women have not been trained to be wives. Most women don't come into a relationship wanting to serve so that the man can turn around and serve her as well. But the modern woman comes into relationships, many, not all, as I said earlier, thank God for the good women that does exist. But they come into relationships wanting to be served. They come into relationship expecting themselves to be the exemplars or being better than the men that they are dealing with. And what that condition has done is caused a lot of men to have a low self-esteem. It's caused many of them to defer their own self-worth at the expense of building up a woman that sees them as a nobody. A woman that will divorce them for half of their assets. A woman that will take them to court. And a woman that more or less have left men in such a perilous condition that some have led to suicide. So I want to challenge the woman or the modern woman in America to think that she's a queen. Because you are not a queen.
Because a true queen can never be a queen unless she had the admonition or more or less the guidance of her king. And a woman becomes the best version of herself when she's able to flow in her more or less translucent femininity. So therefore, I'll leave you with this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. And so I want to challenge some of these young men and also older men to stand firm on your masculine principles. Don't let these delusional women, by the way of magical thinking, go around thinking that they are queens. Because a true queen is a woman that knows what her role and design is. A true queen is willing to submit to masculine authority as the man submits to her. Because men submit when we submit in different ways. Men submit by loving, providing, protecting, and dying for their women. Women submit by honoring, obeying, and respecting their men. Because submission is a duality similar to a clinical term, well, not a clinical term, but a scientific term called a symbiosis or symbiotic relationship. So I want the men that are hearing this, I want you to internalize this, because from a clinical lens, you are empowering these so-called women that have been more or less empowered, and because of their delusions, they have been depowered. So when you sacrifice your important masculine principles in the future, I want you to ask yourself the question, how am I contributing to this psychopathology? So once again, I want you to sit back and enjoy this more or less elaboration on what happens to a queen without a crown. And as I said earlier, remember this: if it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. And if it ain't kosher, it ain't right. I want you to enjoy this day.
All right, that was a show back in the vault, and it's gonna more or less highlight a part of the show that I'm gonna continue on tonight. What happens to a queen without a crown? Now you guys gonna see it, because once again, many thought that the man tree would be forever, and the man tree is not forever. There's an expiration date on the man tree. So is there an expiration date on your beauty. And you gotta capitalize on a good man in your earlier years if you want stability, if you want love and protection. But sadly, so many have been compromised. Some of our sisters have been compromised. They've been lied to. And once again, I'm not against a woman getting her career. I'm not against it. But if you believe in family, then family should be your first mandate. You can always get a career on the back end. The man takes care of you on the front end. You get your bachelor's maybe, and then he said, baby, look, stay home and take care of the kids if he can work, because now it takes 2. But if he can hold down all of the everything, then that good man gonna take care of you on the back end and let you finish school if you want to finish school. But I'm gonna show you guys something, because the wall is real, and sadly the wall is undefeated. And you know, many men right now, guys, are looking for women that can not compromise, but complement them. And many men, guys, are looking for women like Shirley Brown.
Now you see, I don't want no trouble now.
Yeah, they're looking for women like Shirley Brown, women that say, I love that man. Men are looking for women that can say, all for my man. And once again, we're talking about righteous men. We're not talking about men that abuse power. We're not talking about Raekwon and Madman. We're not talking about men that are manipulative. We're not talking about men that are predators. We're talking about honest men, men that have good intentions, and men that are going to stand by these women. That's what we're talking about. But watch this. Men are the gatekeepers to relationships. Women are the gatekeepers to sex. And sadly, many are trying to turn men into rats. They want men for resources, attention, time, and also security and settlement for sex. And many men are saying, you know, that ain't enough. I need more than that. I need more than that, because sex is old after a while. So I want to show you guys something. We're gonna get deep into this show tonight, because this poor woman actually correlates what I'm talking about. Shout out to Atlanta Street Interviews, guys. Fair use. Shout out to Atlanta Street Interviews.
Put that up. Don't get
that brother actually is doing some good work on the streets. Something I've thought about. But I want you guys to look at this because the wall is undefeated. It's undefeated. And you're going to look at how this woman was a beautiful woman at one time, but she forfeited her opportunities. And now she's singing that song by Harold Melvin, The Blue Notes. The whole world is laughing at me. I'm silly fool. But this story is going to give credence to what we're talking about because strong and independent is going to leave a lot of women uncovered and alone. And so I want you guys to listen to it.
Don't get me wrong. I'm the one who fucked that shit up. Don't get me wrong about it. I'm the one who fucked it up. I'm the one who did not sign that contract. I'm the one who fucked it up.
But how did that contribute to the destruction of the relationship?
It's just that we wasn't seeing eye to eye no more. He wants something else, and I want something else. He wanted to get married, and I told him no.
Do you regret that?
Yes and no.
This man said he wanted to marry this woman, but this woman probably felt like she had forever, and she turned down an opportunity because she thought that she could pick from the man tree forever. She was singing that song by Keith Sweat, Make This Last Forever. She thought she could pick from the man tree forever. And ladies, I'm going to tell you, when you get an opportunity to have a wholesome and quality man, a decent man, based on your values, then you need to go ahead on and snag them. Too many women wait too late in their lives to get husbands when the opportunity is there in their younger years. They wait too long because they think that they're going to have options forever. If every woman got married on today, there still would be millions, at least 2 million women without a husband. But sadly, this woman is saying that, she regretted. She said partially she regretted. And I want you guys to keep listening to her story because the wall is undefeated. Hold on. All right, come on, Dick, come on. Give me a minute, guys, so I can slow down. Hold on, give me a minute. Hold on. All right. So while I'm waiting for this thing to play, hold on. All right, here we go.
So if he were to happen to see this video and he were to hear that you're still in love with him.
If he see this damn video.
He
might
would
motherfucking kill me.
Well, I mean,
I was working at the radio station on night shift.
What radio station?
Hot 107.9 on night shift.
You was working at Hot 107.9 here in Atlanta?
Yes.
But now we get to see your old face. And all right, so how you doing today?
Creative, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And so, I mean, are you still homeless right now?
I'm on. It's like I have like somewhere to rent right now, but I'm slick, kind of like this much being away from homeless.
Okay.
Still.
Okay.
But guess what though? That I have, my friends around me. Well, some of my friends around me, but I'm just working very hard. It's because a lot of my friends passed away.
Sorry to hear about that.
No
so let me ask, I mean, you say that you're paying rent right now?
Yeah.
How much is the rent?
My food stamps is my currency right now. So basically, like, I get like $125 a month.
And guys, this woman was a former stripper. She was a former stripper in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta Street Interviews, fair use. But she was a former stripper in Atlanta. And look at her now. Look at the woman on the left, what she looked like in the past, and look at her now. Women, when they're uncovered, guys, they age faster. They're not designed to carry the load. They can do it, but they're not designed to do it. They age faster. They get gray faster because of the stress. Men are built to carry it better. Not saying that women can't do it, but they're not designed to do it because it stresses them out. Women need a covering. They need men to love them and protect them. Women feel safe when they are loved and protected. But once again, because women tend to see men as tireless commodities, this woman exacerbated her attention, exacerbated her time, and exacerbated her ability to get a quality man. And now you can tell she's still young, but you can tell because of the stress, she's hitting the wall. She's hitting the wall hard. And this woman probably is in her 30s. Look at her 9 years ago and look at her now. Keep listening.
For food stamps. So what I do, this is how I kind of balance it. So every 2 weeks, whatever they need, I supply.
And who is they?
They, Big Mike and my best friend Pierre. Whatever they want, I get it for them.
And so that's who you're living with?
Yes.
And so what's that situation like? That's how did you meet these folks?
I've been knowing these people ever since I was a little girl.
Okay. And you say Pierre, so that's a guy?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's a guy that you're romantically involved with?
I was waiting on you too. So, I mean, that's a yes and a no.
You say you waiting on who?
I was just waiting on you for the answer. That's why I kept looking around.
Well, you tell us the answer.
Oh, okay. So, I am romantically, I guess.
I mean, it doesn't sound like you're like too enthusiastic about it.
I'd rather put his ass in chokehold.
So, I mean, let me ask you this. Is this a situation where you're kind of trading sex for a place to stay?
And 9 times out of 10, guys, sadly, this poor woman is probably tricking. Just like the woman that said that, let me show you guys something. She said, we can work out something. Just come on. Some of these women, guys, are trading sex for security. They're trading sex for comfort because they want a man to help them take care of their children or take care of themselves. They're trading sex for comfort and security. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because some of them, sadly, it could have been prevented, but that's what happens when you feel like you can do things without a strong masculine man, and then you end up suffering, sadly, the recompense of your error because women and men were made to be together. Men and women were optimized to be synchronized. And when women try to do it all by themselves, then it becomes very problematic. And you guys are seeing that now. You're seeing women that are on the streets. You're seeing women that are sad, they're broken. Some don't know how they're going to get their bills paid. Some don't know how they're going to get ends met. And they're suffering in silence for a myriad of reasons. But the question remains, could it have been prevented? Some would say yes. But let's keep listening because this poor woman is going through a crisis right now.
No.
So are y'all currently having sex?
Last time I had sex was last. Oh shit! I didn't even have birthday sex. What? Okay. Hold on. I'm just now thinking
about it. When was your birthday?
Shit. My birthday's July 30th. My birthday is this weekend.
Okay. So how old are you gonna be now?
I'll be 32.
32. All right.
Yes.
Look at this woman. Look at what she was. She was a former stripper. She was fine back in her day. Her body is cut. She probably worked at Magic City in Atlanta. But look at her. Look at her, guys. Look how fine she was. Right. And so Bryce Hudson is correct. She said a lot of women just being up after 10 is bad for your liver. It's the same as partying every night. Right. It's hard on a woman's body. It's extremely hard on her body. Mr. Lawrence said body count is off the charts now. Yeah. They don't understand, man, that it's not good for them, man. Yeah, they don't get it. Yeah. Yeah, she was a professional dancer, Coach Keith. She was. And you could tell she was fine. Look at how cut she is. Look at those abs, man. She was fine, but look at her now. Look how she didn't hit the wall. She smashed into it. And she's still not that old. She's still a young woman. I think she's in her 30s. But you can tell by the top of her head, she's aging. And she's not getting her rest. She's probably stressed out. And she's probably trading sex for somewhere to stay. But that's what happens to a queen, guys, without a crown. That's why I had to bring back that old classic and make this story pop off. Keep listening.
I think I'm a whole weirdo for this shit. Like,
well, I mean, when was the last time?
You know what? You know what? I'll say this to the universe. And I have not told my ex-boyfriend yet. I'm still in love with my ex-boyfriend.
And so which ex are we talking about?
Remember, she had a good man that was ready, guys, to wife her up. She had a good man that was ready to put a ring on her finger. But she forfeited that for whatever reason. She forfeited it. And now she's singing that song by Teddy Pendergrass and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. The whole world is laughing at me. And, you know, that's what happens when a woman is not covered. Being strong and independent is not only dangerous, but it's a deficit mindset. It's a mindset that's based on trauma. And what it does, it ages women fast because they got all that pressure. Hips were made for carrying babies and shoulders were made for lifting heavy objects. But, you know, they want to prove that they Wonder Woman. You know, they're She-Ro, they She-Hulk. So God's going to say, we're going to let you be all of that while you watch your body disintegrate.
The older guy or?
The older guy.
So the guy that you left?
Yes.
The guy that you was cooking for and he wanted to provide for you and everything else, but then you left him.
But how did that contribute to the destruction of the relationship?
It's just that we wasn't seeing eye to eye no more. He wants something else, and I want something else. He wanted to get married, and I told him no. I fucked that up. Don't get me wrong. I'm the one who fucked that shit up. Don't get me wrong about it. I'm the one who fucked it up. I'm the one who did not sign that contract. I'm the one who fucked it up.
Do you regret that?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain.
Because it was a lesson learned.
So if he were to happen to see this video and he were to hear that you're still in love with him,
if he see this damn video.
He
might
would
motherfucking kill me.
Well, I mean, not if he still wants you. Do you think he still wants you romantically?
Yeah.
Has he moved on, or is he with someone else, or what?
Oh, he got a girlfriend, but that didn't last long.
So he had a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Why'd you smile about that so hard?
And guys, women are more at risk for mental health issues, men and women, but women in particular are at risk for mental health pathologies when they're left uncovered. As I told you guys earlier, based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, security, protection, a place to live is part of a woman's intrinsic hard drive. It's part of her intrinsic hard drive. But once again, these modern Western women, guys, want you to be rats. They want to give you nothing in return. They want resources, attention, time, and they want security and settlement for sex. But once again, that's nothing for a man that got money and status and a plethora of women. Is he going to trade all that in for one woman? A woman that's had a lot of fun, a woman that's not like the women of the past? You know, I don't know. Hold tight.
I smile because I get nervous sometimes, so I'm just like, I get nervous sometimes. I'm sorry.
So we saw each other one other time, about a month ago or so.
Yeah, I saw you at Woodruff Park.
Yeah, and you said that you was going to cook for him and his girlfriend. Does he still want to be with you romantically?
I don't know, but we're good friends though. Like we go grocery shopping together, you know. Matter of fact, last week I went to his house and I cooked for him, you know. So.
Did y'all have sex?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, so you know that he wants more. So I mean, so is that still not an option for you? I mean, obviously it's an option, but is that not something that you want to do? I mean, it sounds like he's stable. It sounds like he likes you. What's the hold up, or what's holding you back?
There's nothing. We both agreed that we're not gonna have a relationship anymore, but we could be good friends, and I'm kind of happy with that. Oh, his ex-wife.
Oh, his ex-wife. So that wasn't his girlfriend. That was his ex-wife. Okay, so... Okay. So, I mean...
I was being friendly, like, hey, can I use your stove real quick? And I will cook for you and for her too.
So, why do you think you rejected his offer the first time?
The first time,
meaning
second time.
Well, look, put it like this.
Let's go down the timeline. The first time, the second time, the third time. I rejected all of it.
Why?
It's because at the time I was 27, 28. I didn't know any better.
Look at this woman, guys, when she was at her peak. Look at her when she was at her peak. But then again, you can see the arrogance. You guys can see the hubris. You know, look at it. That's that queen without a crown syndrome. And this woman, once again, guys, was an exotic dancer. Look at that. Had a good opportunity to get a good man. And some would say he was a simple one to get with her. But look at her. Look how pretty she was in a couple of years ago. This woman is in her 30s, I believe. And she looked like she's in her early 40s. But keep listening.
And so what's the difference now?
And men and women on the street, guys, they actually self-medicate. They self-medicate. The ego defense mechanism. But they self-medicate.
Now, I mean, it's a few years later, but what have you learned specifically?
I've learned that when a man loves you and could give you the world, sweetheart, take it.
You guys see what I see, what you see on her head. You guys think I'm playing when I be trying to teach you guys something. You guys see what's on her head. You guys see it? It's a queen crown. It's a queen. She's a queen, but she's a queen without a crown because she's not covered. And I keep telling you guys that that queen syndrome is tied to incessant narcissism. Narcissistic traits is very prevalent in the West. And that's why she's uncovered, because she has no self-introspection. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't understand that she has a limitation. The wall is real. And look at her, guys. You know, she's a queen without a crown. She got the crown on her head. She's sitting in her queen chair, a former exotic dancer, and she has an ego. She has an ego, no humility. And some of them never get it. Some of them will never learn. What happens once again with the queen to a queen without a crown? Are strong and independent women in danger of being uncovered and alone? And many will say yes. Guys, do me a favor, guys, get the likes up. I need you guys to get the likes up. If you have not donated to the channel, donate. Shout out to, I forgot the guy that sent the cash out to Mr. Lawrence for that $5 stupid sticker. Cash out. Thank you for the great work. No doubt. I appreciate it, Mr. Lawrence. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. And guys, just keep listening, because it's very important that men understand how some women forfeit their right as women and give away their virtue in their younger years. But in the meantime, guys, hit that like button, get the likes up. In the meantime, hold tight.
Hit that like button. Go ahead. Do it now before I reach out into that screen and twist your hand like Aunt Esther. Hit the like button. Thank you.
Destroy. All right. So I want you guys to keep listening and tell me what you think.
I didn't have to work if I didn't want to. He met me as a construction worker. That's one point. He met me as an actual construction worker.
Now, she did get out of the game, but construction work is hard on a woman's body. It's hard on a man's body too, but it's equally hard on a woman's body. But keep listening.
I was making like $14, $15 an hour.
So let me ask you this. I mean, some of the people are going to see, you know, your kind of behavior on this video, and they're going to say, well, is she on any drugs?
No, I just don't have my contacts in. I really can't see that far, so my bad. And then on top of that, I'm really passionate of what I'm really talking about. So if you could take this journey with me and this lesson with me, then you should know too that I fucked up on this and that and that and that. And guess what? I lost this, that, that, and that. And I want to tell everybody, like, hey, if you have the opportunity to make yourself better, then do it. Because it was up to me. If I could rewind time right now,
what would you have done different?
I would still be with that man.
Freeze, listen to what she just said, guys. Listen to what she just said. She let her arrogance and her hubris, and, you know, sad that she's a Leo, by the way. She can't help it because she's a Leo like me. But I'm a balanced Leo. But she let her arrogance and her hubris stop her from being with a quality man that would have her. But once again, she thought that the man tree, guys, was going to last forever. She thought that that man tree was going to be to infinitum. She didn't think that at some point that the man tree would happen. And see, it happens all the time, guys. You know, women had the opportunity to get good men in their 20s. They had opportunity to get good men in college. But, you know, they were so busy trying to do hot girl summer and he's boring. You know, they always thought they could get better until they got used up by the bad guys, Raekwon the madman. And after they got worn out and used up, then they want to come back to a good man. And now they expect that good man to take them as serious, to take them serious as a wife after they've given that virtue away. Women don't understand that men are not wired to be with women that have a lot of fun. Men understand women got a pass. We get it. But a woman that's had a lot of fun, that's a huge turnoff for men because men don't like women that have been entered by multiple men. It goes against our hard drive. Just like most women cannot handle the thought of their man being entered. That's why men can look at a bi-curious relationship and not quench as much. But let a woman find out that a man has been entered, she can't handle it because a woman needs a man she can look up to, and a man in a submission, subservient position doesn't make a woman feel safe. On the flip side, a man doesn't feel safe or his ego feels safe when his woman has been entered by a lot of men. And lot is subjective. But see, some don't get it because the culture told women they can do what men do, and you can do it, but there's a price to pay. This woman had a chance to capitalize on a good man, and she just let it go. She was like that little girl in the Ice Queen, let it go. And it's sad, guys. Keep listening.
Yeah.
And so how much older is he than you?
He's in his 50s.
He's in his 50s? Okay. So.
And then sometimes, too, some women don't like. Men that are older, sometimes an older man, if he's a balanced man, if he got his head on right, if he's an honorable man, if he's a loyal man, sometimes a man that's older actually is good for a woman because an older man, if he's mature, if he's not immature for his age, if he's seasoned, he's smart, he's wise, his health is good, he works out, he got his money on point, an older seasoned man can be good for a woman because he can give her wisdom and teach her things. If you guys think about it, Adam had him a young woman. I'm going to do a show on that at some point. But Adam had a young wife. Eve and Adam were not the same age. In the West, we assume that being with a person your age is the right thing, but technically, I think it's a perfect compliment for a man to get a younger woman. He gets a young wife, and she gets a man that's a provider and a protector. It's a perfect compliment because when a man gets a woman that's younger, her peak fertility years are still intact. But when a man get a woman his age and they're the same age and he wants kids, then the chance of him having a lot of children is slim to none. Because as a woman gets older, she gets in her 30s, she's at risk for a geriatric pregnancy. So it's a perfect compliment. He teaches her, he molds her into his image. And then once he molds her, she turns around and she's going to be turned around and get well taken care of. A righteous man will take care of a good woman. He'll take damn good care of her. He'll put his life on the line. That's what women don't understand. But see, some people are trying to shame men for talking to younger women, not understanding that in many cultures it's normal. Colombia is normal. Africa is normal. It's normal for men to have younger women. It's very normal because that younger woman can be a compliment to that man because she's more moldable. But see, once a woman gets older, she's harder to mold into the image of a man. And some people might not like that, but if you believe in the Bible said that the woman was made for the man. She was made for him. So basically, if the woman is made for the man, she was made to be molded into his image. She reflects the man is the sun, and the woman is the moon. The man shines his light on the woman because the woman is a vessel. The man is light. He shines his light on the woman. He fills up that vessel, and the woman turns around and reflects that light and makes that man feel proud because the man is the molder. The woman is the clay. But if the clay is too hard, then the man cannot mold that said clay. And as Bishop Charles E. Williams said, y'all ain't gonna talk to me. But we're gonna get right back into it, guys, because I'm gonna start preaching in a minute. And once I start preaching, y'all gonna lose the victory. You ain't gonna give me a love offering. But in the meantime, guys, get them likes up. If you're not donated to the channel, donate and share the content. But women need light. They need a light bearer. They need a man that can fill up their vessel. They need a man that can guide them. They need a man that can love them. They need a man that can protect them. They need a man that can cover them. They need a man that can hold them in the wee hours of the night. They need a man that can go downstairs with that hammer and pop somebody if they want to more or less cause harm. Women want that. That's why women like taller men. It doesn't mean that a shorter man can't be a good man. Some short men are tougher than taller men. But it's a woman's biological imperative to get a man that can be a provider and a protector. That's why I told you guys, you got to be careful there's times of type, because some of these women, guys, as I told you guys earlier, many of them want a man to be a rat. I want to make what you guys to be rats, and you got to be careful because they want resources, attention, time, and settlement for security and also for the sake of sex. And what men are saying is that, nah, I need more than sex. But here we go.
I mean, like I say, if he sees this video and he reaches out to you, are you going to accept his offer this time, or are you still going to reject it?
There's no offer this time. Me and him already talked. There's no offer.
So you already told him how you feel?
No, he told me how he feels.
What did he tell you?
He said, I love you. I love you enough to let you go. I love you enough. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to kind of cripple again. I love you so much that I have to let you go. It's because if I really love you, I'll let you go. But if I was, how you say, spoiled, I would keep you to myself. But no, you have to grow now. You have to grow and get different ideas and do different things.
So let me ask you this. When was the last time you had sex?
Really? It's been a month.
A month?
Like around 4th of July or something like before then.
And so the guy that you're living with now, does he expect sex from you?
No.
Because you guys was having sex at one point, right?
Man, I had to put this nigga in a chokehold for me to get sex. How about that?
You have to force sex on him.
Nah, I'm a Leo. He's kind of an Aries, so sometimes I might tease him, put his ass in a chokehold real quick.
So that you could get some sex.
You know what? I'm a fucking bully. How about that? Okay. Cat's out the bag. I'm a fucking bully. Okay. I'm a fucking bully.
Okay. All right.
No,
All right.
But I don't force him to do nothing that he don't want to do.
So that's you trying to get the sex from him, not him trying to get the sex from you.
I gave up after a while.
Okay.
I gave up. You want to know why? Because if you don't want it, then, it should not be important. I can wait.
Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. All right, so, what are we doing at this point to try to get ourselves out of this position of kind of semi-homelessness? Because let me ask, how much longer do you think you're going to be able to stay with these guys?
I would say about 3 more months. It's because I'm working on my birth certificate and my ID, because my shit got stolen when I was at Gateway. Hold on, wait, I take that back. Crossroads.
Crossroads is a kind of dangerous little situation.
See you at the crossroad.
Hey.
Man, you gotta fight. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound crazy or whatever, or look crazy or whatever. But man, you gotta fight when you up there.
No, you definitely
gotta be. My whole book bag got stolen.
You definitely gotta be a little more aggressive.
I don't wait, but my whole book bag got stolen when I was jotting down, doing paperwork. Shit. I'm like, you gotta be motherfucking kidding me. I said, I'm not gonna leave this motherfucking room until I get my shit back. Mercedes, please, calm down. I'm like, hell no. I don't give a fuck. If I'm 5'2", I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna stand right here until I motherfucking get my shit back. If not, I'm not leaving any motherfucking where. Do you not understand that? I don't give a fuck.
And sadly, she haven't learned, guys. You're right. Still masculine. She's still masculine. It's sad, and she probably is a crackhead. It's unfortunate. LaBelle said she ran through. Yeah, she probably is ran through. And it's sad. And East S Move to God said a lot of black females will be zombies out here like the movie in 28 Days and Later. It's sad, man. And that's why women need a covering. You need a covering because you will become a saboteur to your own ignorance when you don't have a covering. And it's sad. But once again, that's what happens when, when you are out here on your own. It's sad.
Who big, who tall, who small, who short, I do not care. I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to wait for my shit.
Did you ever get it?
No.
Okay.
No.
So listen, I just ran up on you at Gateway and, you were sitting on the wall where we had originally met. Mm-hmm. And why were you sitting there?
You know what? My heart got to me and I was looking for Joseph. In Spanish, it's Jose. But
that's the
English,
guy that you was with the day that we did the first interview.
Yes.
And so, do you think that he's still out there?
I didn't find. I was just being wishful thinking. That's all. It's because you want to know one thing about Joseph, Jose. His full name is Jose. It's because that's the one person didn't ask me for nothing. He was like, I got your back and you got my back. That's number 2. And that's all I wanted. I went out there. He didn't ask me for sex. He didn't ask me for nothing. He said just all you gotta do is just sit by me or stand by me. Because he really didn't speak English really good. Well, as you could tell because of your videos and stuff. He really didn't speak English really good.
Okay. All right, miss. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time answering all of our questions.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
If anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
I got TikTok called Talk Radio 1388. And then I have a Gmail called Talk Radio 1388 at gmail.com. And that's really it for now.
No Cash App?
Talk Radio 1388 Cash App.
Okay, so the $sign in front?
Yeah, the little dollar sign. All
right, and so you sure that there's no alcohol going on, there's no drugs or anything like that?
Okay, well, let me explain something to you. Okay, so right now, I'm weaning myself on and off on mental health diagnosis.
Right.
I go to classes. I go to, like group therapy and stuff like that. And what I get is I get this mental healthness like medication for nighttime. Because during the wintertime it was kind of tough out here, but now I'm feeling great. I'm feeling better. Getting my mental health together. Because at that time, like if you in the house, the lights is on, but ain't nobody in there. that's how I was the last video. Like, I was very depressed, really depressed, because I felt like I lost everything.
So what history of drugs do we have?
And so when women, guys, are on the street, some cope in a positive way, some cope in a negative way. We call it self-medication. We call it unhealthy coping. Some revert to sex. Some revert to alcoholism. Some revert to drugs. Some revert to a myriad of things to cover that deficit they're dealing with. But what you're seeing in this woman, she's a broken woman. She's a broken woman. And like one brother said, that the chances of her getting a quality man is going to be slim to none because she's damaged beyond repair. She's damaged. And I'm going to show you guys some footage in a minute to qualify my point.
I used to smoke weed very heavily. And I used to do mollies very heavily.
Okay. And so, I mean, are we using any drugs right now?
No.
None whatsoever?
I'm on mental pills now.
Okay.
So I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and this is why I come to Grady. Matter of fact, I just left from Grady. I come to Grady, do my group classes.
Anxiety and depression, guys, can be situational. In the clinical world, we call it an adjustment disorder. It can be situational anxiety and depression, but also it can be organic anxiety and depression. Sometimes it's trauma-induced. But it's a possibility if she does have anxiety and depression, it's exacerbated now because she's in an unnatural environment. Watch this. The environment plays a major role to the shaping of a human being. If the environment is dysfunctional and broken, it can impact a woman or a man in a negative way. Keep listening.
You know, I have to pick up my medication tomorrow. I've been kind of on it, like just trying to slowly step up and get better. I take it during the nighttime, but during the daytime, guess what happens?
Still has your little looping?
Yeah, it's still, I mean, kind of like woo.
Okay, I
can dig it. But I don't be mad or nothing.
Shout out to the young lion, my man, Sohail Speaks in the house. Shout out to him. Thank you, brother, for checking in, tuning in, no doubt. Appreciate it, Sohail Speaks. Much love and blessing to that brother. Guys, go check him out. Sohail Speaks is an awesome brother, good guy. He's part of the Leo clan. And I got much love and respect for that brother. Thank you, Sir Hill Speaks. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for tuning in. But once again, guys, this is a byproduct of a woman that's dealing with substance abuse, but also a very broken woman, which is sad. And that's what happens to a queen, guys, without a crown. This is what happens to a queen without a crown, because they're broken, because they're uncovered. So many say, and they took the lies of Cardi B, I don't cook, I don't clean. But once again, guys, this is what happens to a queen without a crown. And it's sad.
It's just, it keeps me loopy.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is just you just kind of have a bouncy personality anyway, right? It's kind of a little bit light and bouncy, right? And so I think that combined with that can definitely have that.
So I want to show you guys something else, because once again, this woman was in her younger years, but you can tell she hit the wall. You can see her then when she was pretty, and now she's hit the wall, and that's what happens to a woman that's uncovered. Women that are covered age gracefully. Now, there are some women that are not married. They take care of their bodies. They age gracefully too if they're not stressed out. But in general, a woman that's covered by a man, she will age gracefully. In the clinical world, guys, we use a metric called the locus and the cow locus. The locus stands for the level of care utilization system. What that basically means is that we look at the level of care that adults need in conjunction to their mental health pathologies. If the environment is unsuitable or unstable, it can greatly impact the recovery of a client. Children get a metric called the cow locus. It's called the child adolescent level of care utilization system. And when a child has protective factors in place where the environment is copacetic, then the child is at its best of being more stable and recovering better. But see, watch this. If a person has underlying mental illness, the lack of clothing, shelter, and a home based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs can reduce their ability to self-actualize. Human beings cannot self-actualize when their environment is unstable. Just like a baby in the womb of a mother when it's going through gestation needs a healthy environment in order to be its best or to self-actualize. But I'm going to show you guys something else with this woman. It's, you know, and like I said, it's confirming my point, because she got some issues, and you guys gonna see it. And I don't know if she was doing this early on with her behavior, but in the meantime, let's go back and look at something that confirms what we were talking about earlier about women now, because the economy is bad and because men have to be careful. We don't want you to be a rat because the economy is getting bad, and many women are trying to find suckers to more or less leech off because they want resources, attention, they want your time, and they want security, and they also want settlement, which is a marriage, for sex. The bad thing is that's not a fair exchange for a man, because a fair exchange for a man in the past was virgin, wife ready, and also a woman that had no kids. That was the fair exchange for a man. But now a woman like her, she's had so many issues. Now she wants a man because she wants you guys to be her rat. And some of you guys are going to be her rat because you don't know that you can get better. Your self-esteem is so low, you don't mind being her rat. You don't mind giving your resources, giving your attention, giving your time, giving your light, giving her security, and also settlement for sex. And you're not getting a chaste woman. This woman has had a lot of fun. But if that's all you want, if your standards is low, then settle for it. But men that got standards, they're not going to settle for a woman of such ilk, because once again, she was a playgirl. She was an exotic dancer. And men that have standards, that have value in themselves, want a woman that honor herself, respect herself. She's a freak in the sheets, but she's a lady in the streets. And that's what men are looking for. But sadly, most women don't care about what men want. They just want men to take anything. And it's sad. But let me show you guys something real quick. Because once again, Kevin Samuels proved the point.
We get tired. God, we get tired. And don't nobody give a damn. The folks you think could give a damn don't give a damn. Sometimes your kids don't even give a damn. And in the face of such hurt, heartbreak, rejection, confusion, a lot of men are just out here lost. And waking up every day is a miracle.
Yes, because they're broken. You can tell Kevin, and rest in power, Kevin. I pray that your soul is resting with God. But you can see, based on Kevin's face and based on the struggle that he's dealing with, that a lot of men continue to struggle. They continue to struggle. They continue to have pain. They continue to have a lot of struggle. And many times they feel like they're not getting anything in return. A lot of men don't feel that way. And you guys can see it in his pain. You can see it in his face. And it's unfortunate and it's sad. It's very sad. But hold tight, guys.
Some people go to sleep and will be all right. We're not waking up.
Why do so many women end up with subpar men?
Because they're subpar women. Well, you think you're all perfect? No. Most of you are mediocre or less, and you ended up with pretty much exactly where you're at. So the answer is, the reason why so many people or so many women end up with subpar men is because there are so many subpar women. That's it.
So you just gonna pay for pussy for the rest of your life?
I'm gonna pay it the whole.
And once again, that's what happens to a queen without a crown. She wants better. She wants better. She wants the top tier men. That's what happens to a queen without a crown. Her arrogance and her hubris supersedes her. Keep listening.
Yeah, because relationships do not work for me.
I just can't understand why you saying this morning.
I won't be heartbroken, no feelings, hurt, none of that. I pay it the whole. After I pay it the whole, get what I want, they go their way, I go my way. I'm paying it the whole for me.
Men's, do y'all agree with him?
Hell yeah, they agree. Hell yeah, they agree.
I'ma see.
I hope the married ones don't, though. But the single ones, yeah. Pay it the whole, boy. Pay it the whole. You won't get heartbroken, because these women ain't gonna do right. They go both ways, though.
You heartbroken this morning?
No, I ain't heartbroken, but I'm paying that the whole from now on. Ain't the hole.
I mean, at this point, as high as everything is, I am.
And guys, this more or less reaffirms a woman that's a queen without a crown. She's very enticing. Most guys would say she has a nice bust line. Don't know if this was a skit or not, but if it is a skit, art imitates life. But once again, this is what happens to a queen without a crown. They end up uncovered. And, men are beginning to walk away. They're beginning to do what's best for them. And you guys see it for yourself. This proves my point about being a queen without a crown, being independent, and this woman is independent, but also uncovered. Listen.
I am willing to have a living roommate that I have sexual intercourse with and help me pay for things. I don't know if I'm quite ready to call that a partner, but we will have some type of relationship. It may not be the relationship that you're looking for, because I don't know if I want to say that I'm in a relationship, but we'll work that out at a later time. But as of right now, it is very critical that I get someone in my household. Groceries high, gas high. Yeah, we'll work it out. Just come on.
A woman that friend zones a man after he expresses.
All right, let me show you guys something real quick. I'm gonna show you guys something else. Hold tight. And we're gonna look at Miss Radio Lady because, I don't know if she's learned her lesson, man. She's still an example of a modern woman, regardless of everything that she's went through. But let me show you guys something real quick. And you guys decide, or tell me, what do you think about this young sister? Because it's safe to say that she has not learned her lesson. So let's look at Miss Talk Radio 1388, this queen without a crown. And, y'all tell me what y'all think about what she's posting on TikTok.
All the girls that look like this.
Sir.
Okay, big sis. You did say it right. Sir, the girls that you're looking for and wanted, and, they look like models and stuff like that, sir, they do not want you at all. They don't. As the delegations of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, which is me, we don't want you neither, okay? So I'm going to stick up for the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, all right? The like the short people, the short people, about 5'3", 5'2.5", if you want to say certain things like that. As of, no, sir. I don't even give a fuck how much money you got. You need to fix up. My hairline looks better than yours, okay? And I don't even shape up my own shit, okay? So,
and you guys can see that she's still not humble. She's still not humble. She got little titties. had a lot of fun, and she talking junk. You would think a woman living on the streets would be a lot more humble than her, but they never learn, guys. But let me show you guys this one. They never learn.
Okay, so we have a question for the day. What time do you go to bed on a school day? Okay, so I would say back in the 90s, when I was in elementary school, I went to bed at least around like 8:30. I guess that's what my dad thought, because I used to sneak and put the TV on real low and watch everything. I think that's when, hold on, give me a second. Yeah, that's when South Park first came out, like back in like 1998 or 1999, and I would like stay up and watch it, but I had like the TV real low, and at the time he was a very, very hard sleeper, so I used to like sneak and watch that, or watch Nick at Night, or because back then in the 90s it was only a couple channels on Comcast. All right, next question of the day.
And once again, guys, you can see that she's not active with her life. Some would say she's probably wasting her life. Many of these women have electronic gaming addictions, the dopamine rush. They love to be on YouTube and TikTok, wasting their lives. But let's look at this video because you could tell she was pretty at one point, but her best days are gone.
A lot of grown men date young girls, so
this big masculine Bertha, trying to shame men once again, but it doesn't work. Masculine men just laugh at it. It's funny. It's funny when women try to shame men now, but she's trying to tell men that they should settle for women her age. But keep listening.
Play this game too.
All right, I really had to stand up for this one is because oh my God, what is going on with this world right now? Okay, thanks to you, you're one of my favorite pages that I love to watch and everything. But let me get this straight. An older man wants to date a younger woman because they so-called control the younger woman. Okay, maybe because he might have more fun with the younger woman than with the older lady. The older lady, you can't treat older ladies in a certain way because certain older ladies don't want to do anything half of the time. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Put your comments below and just let.
Well, she did make sense about that, but most guys say younger women are more vibrant. They have more energy. Women always like to use that word control. I'm going to do a show at some point, but all control is not bad. Actually, healthy control. A relationship needs to have healthy control. Relationships need to have healthy control, not abusive control, but healthy control. And we're going to talk about that at some point. But once again, guys, it's ignorance at its highest. The more things change, the more they remain the same. And never get it, but yeah.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I haven't been on here in a minute, but I just.
And you guys can tell, she, her body's still fit. You can tell she's fit. You can tell by her core she's slim. She got a very athletic tone. But anytime men say they have standards, they call it now body shaming. Body shaming is the new delusion too. And but yeah, at the same time, they can height shame you, penis shame you, money shame you, security shame you, all other kinds of shame. But when it comes down to the queen, you can't say nothing.
I just got some questions for y'all. What's up with this fat girl shaming and skinny girl shaming? The shit gotta stop. Oh, the reason why big girls, take care of their man is because the man wants them to take. No. It does not work that way. Stop putting yourself on a high pedestal that you can't sit on. It doesn't matter if you're fat or skinny. If a dude wants to be loyal to you, he's just gonna be loyal to you. And if he wants to cheat on you, that's what he's gonna do. But you gotta be smarter than that. Stop using your insecurities and blaming it on the next woman. Period. Thank you. Period.
Corsair said that crack got a stomach flat. It ain't funny, man, but wow. Hold tight.
All right, so ghetto announcement. I'm tired of watching all these posts about this black man was dating a white woman and he got killed and stuff like that. But he was shaming on a black woman. But I'm just not understanding this. I do understand, but it's you want us to have his back. But I think at this time, I'm going to sit this one out, baby.
Yeah, you can tell, guys, she got a lot of issues. Incoherent, too. But in the meantime, I'm going to stop this. I think you guys get the drift. But that's what happens, guys, to a queen without a crown. They hit the wall. They age fast. They got to deal with the struggle. They got to deal with stress. They got to deal with insecurity. They got to deal with lack of security. And they're like nomads wandering in the wilderness because they are queens without a crown. They're left uncovered. And, liberal policies have destroyed and lied to a lot of our women. And it's sad. Yeah, Cortez, you need to chill, man. Y'all guys brutal, man. But liberal policies have lied to a lot of our women, man. And the more you show them the evidence, sadly, many won't listen. And guys are just beginning to wake up. They're beginning to love themselves and do what's best for them. So, guys, in the meantime, get the likes up. I appreciate what you guys are doing. You guys have done an awesome job on tonight. But in the meantime, guys, I need you guys to do me a favor. Share this content, share the stream. And I'm going to drop the link in a few minutes. We're going to have a quick discussion. I got to get ready to see clients in the morning. I got assessments in the morning as well. But in the meantime, women are frustrated, guys, and so are men.
When you date a woman and she may be a potential wife, it's a competition thing all the way. I can't take it no more.
They feel propped up because they feel more beholden to the government. And then their man comes second. That's why they figure that they're strong, independent, don't need no man because they have the government.
Because the men are failing us, to be honest. Guys thinking about themselves and they'll think about you after you react.
You don't hear anything about being good wives and all the other stuff. What you hear is you're strong and you independent. You can do it on your own. You got black girl magic, black girl walk, but you ain't said nothing about black family.
My mother is like what they consider to be the strong black woman. I feel like I projected that onto the guys that I dated.
Ladies have no idea how stiff their competition really is. You have no clue how black men are viewed in the rest of the world. We are the #1 most sexually desired man on the face of this planet.
They would call Jesus Dusty if he was here living in America because of the gross narcissism that a lot of our women have.
They dropped soon. Al agrees. Frustrated 1, frustrated 2, and soon to be frustrated 3 as we intersect and analyze why American men or men of the West are frustrated and why men are doing or what men are doing about it as they seek for wholesome women, loving women, honorable women, and women that are wife-ready, wife-sustainable, and women that can give them better outcomes based on their rearing and based on their traditions and based on their love for family. And so men are beginning to do what's best for them. And those that are fit and ready for the mission, they'll get a solid man to cover them. But those that don't, well, sadly, they'll be like a lot of women wandering in the wilderness, like nomads, uncovered, dealing with mental illness, dealing with mental distress, broken, at risk of mental illness, at risk of being obese because they don't have a male covering. Once again, the woman was made for the man. The woman was made to be under the covering of a man. This man was made to be under the covering of God. And Christ is under the covering of the Father. But you can't tell the modern hyena that because they're hard. Many of them hit the wall and they sing that song by Harold Melvin. And it is okay. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to drop the link for a few minutes. What you guys take on this whole scenario. And we ain't going to be long, maybe the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're going to drop, we're going to air off because I got things to do. And I got to fly out of town at some point. But I'm grateful that you guys tuned in on tonight. I might do a show on tomorrow, so stay tuned, even though I'm a busy man. But let's have a conversation because this is definitely Mellow Madness. You will ask yourself the question, what were they thinking about? What were these women thinking about to allow themselves to get themselves in this precarious predicament? What were they thinking about? And once again, many are suffering, guys, the recompense of their era. Man, Alton Prayer, man. I can't do nothing with Alton Prayer, man. Like them young cats say, man, stop playing Alton Prayer. Stop playing Alton Prayer. Man, Alton Prayer, man. Alton Prayer must be rich, man. He must be a demigod or something. Alton Prayer always showing the brother love. Alton, man, I appreciate it, man. Listen, guys, Alton Prayer, because of your kindness, your tenacity, and your consistency as it relates to male content, Alton Prayer, brother, you are now, and you have been for a long time. I don't think nobody can top Alton Prayer. But Alton Prayer is the #1 sponsor of the stream with that $50 piece, that $50 cash app. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah. Alton Prayer, man. You know, man. Alton Prayer must be Black Santa Claus, because Alton Prayer always showing love, man. I appreciate it, man. You're a phenomenal brother, man. I'm like, you're like the young folks say, go ahead, Alton Prayer. Go ahead, man. Stop playing, man. Stop playing, Alton. Stop playing, man. But that's a good brother. He supports the content. He supports my work. Him, the Sir Hill Speaks, the Miles Johnsons, the Top Guns, the Peaceful Lives, the Andrew Bakers, the Excel Pros, the Tim Howards, so many other brothers, man. If I miss you guys' name, man, I apologize, but I'm forever MC Recovering Wellness, James Turner. I mean, brothers always holding me down, man. I appreciate it, man. And I probably won't be airing on Saturday or Sunday, guys. I'm gonna be at a conference with Lapeef Hookup. I'm gonna check them brothers out. We can chop it up, and we're gonna have a conversation. But like I said, guys, I really appreciate all you guys do. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, the good sisters and the brothers. But once again, guys, in the meantime, I need you guys to get them likes up. You get them likes up because it's an inflation, and the robot got to be fed. I need you guys to destroy that like button. So listen, guys, the link has been dropped. Let's have a conversation, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to my man, Gregory Scotland, for showing love. I appreciate Gregory Scotland. And that is a deal right for that $10 super sticker. Nothing to say it, man, but just showing love. I appreciate it. And once again, man, thank you, Alton Prayer, man. You know, good big brother. Just want to show my support for great content, man. I appreciate it. He said, keep it coming. Doing your thing, big bro. Man, no, thank you, brother, because it's men like you that give me the power and the courage to continue to do this content. I don't know if you guys understand it or not, but being a licensed therapist, trying to see clients all day, doing content, man, it's extremely time consuming. It's very time consuming. If you've never done content, you won't understand it. It's extremely time consuming. But once again, guys, I'm forever grateful that you guys take the time in your busy schedule to listen to me as I seek to empower you guys on this tumultuous journey. It's a lot of spam, man. I don't know what this crap is, but let me try to block this crap, man. This mess is crazy, man. Shout out to my man, MC Recovering Well. He said, I'm frying French fries for my son, Coach. Burning that, bring that fire for your mind, no doubt. Definitely giving you guys that fire for your mind. I got some more fire on tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do a show tomorrow before I go out of town. But you know, that fire for your mind is important because, guys, it burns out not only the impurities, but it's good for the soul.
Fire for your mind. The kosher tradition.
Yeah, well, I don't know where all the moms went, Big Smooth. I think it's bedtime. It's 11:15, so I'm sure some people got into bed. But guys, the link has been dropped. If you guys want to come on and chop it up for a few minutes, for about 5 to 10 minutes, tell me what you think about women being uncovered. What's your take on it? Feel free to pop in. But if you guys don't pop in, I'm going to sign off in a minute or two. But I really appreciate everything you guys have done. Alton Prayer, once again, the sponsor of the stream, the #1 donor all throughout the week. And that's what it's all about, men investing in men showing love, because guess what? Women support one another too. And like I said, man, when you have good patrons like these brothers that have been so kind on tonight with their time and their resources, it encourages me, guys, to go forward and continue to bring you guys quality content. You know, I enjoy content creation, but once again, it is very, very, very time consuming, very stressful too. Because you got to come up with a good topic, and you want to make sure you keep people's attention on point. But, you know, it's getting easier the more I do it, even though there's some pitfalls I got to continue to go through. But, man, it's going to get better. And I got something for you guys on tomorrow, I think, if I get back home in time. But in the meantime, guys, join in. Let's have a conversation. But if not, I'm going to sign off. I think you guys are probably about to get into bed. I'm going to get into bed too. But in the meantime, guys, beware of simp surfers and beware of these women that think, that they deserve the best and are not willing to put in the work, because putting in the work is essential to men getting their needs met. But also it's essential for women getting their needs met. Women, if you want to be covered, then make sure you get with a good, righteous man, because times are tough and it does not appear that things are going to get better anytime soon. So once again, guys, the link has been dropped if you guys want to have a quick conversation. But if not, I think I'm gonna sign off. So guys, thank you for tuning in on tonight. I love you, brothers and you sisters, the good sisters that are listening, the good sisters that are trying to learn. And once again, guys, get the likes up. If you're having trouble or having issues with your mental health, yeah, I think you're right, Red Star. I don't think they want to be covered either, but that ain't my problem. I ain't worried about it, and neither should you. But in the meantime, guys, get your mental health taken care of, guys, and come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. That's kosherclinician@gmail.com. And get your mental health, guys, taken care of. And we're going to sign off in a few minutes.
Are you a victim of brokenness and despair? A broken man is a hopeless man. And a hopeless man is a very dangerous man. Many times, many of you young men that are listening come from homes that are very toxic and very dysfunctional. And because of that, many of you have deferred your power in many ways to the point it's led over into your social life, and many times led over into your relationships. If you guys are dealing with mental health pathologies, conscious and unconscious, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. That's kosherclinician@gmail.com. It's important that you deal with your mental health in order to be a better person for yourself, your loved ones, and also your community. But because mental health is often stigmatized, many of you often suffer in silence. Don't be a victim in silence. And see me once again at kosherclinician@gmail.com. And I need you guys to remember this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. There are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male. And male mental health is one of those elements that's paramount to the functioning of a man. Be well.
I got an itch in my palm. My girl, she know she the one. I put the ice on her hand. I put some ice on her arm. See me shining in the light. Know you found me in the dark. Talking how you wanna leave. Girl, you made this far. Taking trips overseas. No, I won't be long. We came up from the weeds. Now it's top floor. All these big gets on her wrist. DDS is on her neck. Make it spinning, I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on a let it spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge cause she all mine. There for my first cake, then we hit 100K. $500,000 on the way, then $1 million on the way. Eating good full plates, eating good say grace. Eat her up, get thanks. She got cake birthday. I can't waste no way, I can't waste no play. My girl, whoa, something like the baddest chick. My girl, whoa, came from the rags to rich. Hit the road running, I had to tell her I had to get it. She understood, but she spoiled, so when she get mad, she dip. All these big gets on her wrist, DDS is on her neck. Make it spinning, I don't stress. When I make it stretch. Double back to back then. Down broke, now we rich. Spend it on a let it spin. Down with me to the end. That my best friend. That my best friend. That my best friend. I'ma spend it on her cause she all mine. Spend it on a challenge cause she all mine. cause she all mine. That my best friend, that my best friend, that my best friend.
Pain. I've been there, locked up inside my head, broken from fear, illusions, disappointment, and hopelessness. Who heard me in my silence, where being a man means nothing? Despair. I've been there too, desperately seeking answers for the questions associated with manhood, hills and valleys, too bleak to compare. Stress, suffering in a utility silo, no comfort, no security, no freedom, no justice, just do it for others. Challenges, who will help me break the challenges? Lost in the vortex of darkness, hopelessness, fear, and abandonment. I've been there too. I've been there too. Take the next step to your destiny. Join me in this fight. Walk forward. Deep breaths. Head held high, men. Come join me, men, in the winds of time. Stories, hopes, visions, purified in the fire. I'm not a superhero. and I'm not the Reverend Knight. I'm here to help you. Join me then in this fight. Break the chains of your mind. Let's do it now. For now is all we have. Fire for your mind. The Kosher Clinician.